Hello folks, welcome back to Paddling Pool. I don't know the number, but I am Zari by my side today. Hello Zari.
Just in case you were wondering, it is Paddling Pool 295 specifically.
That's what I said.
That is not what you said.
It's off to a great start.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome. We will be getting into this first game of the set of round one. Also important to note, we are doing we have groups, don't we? I think this is groups. Or is it round robin?
Yeah.
Oh, it's groups. Definitely groups. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty cool. It means we'll see a lot more of these teams. But yeah, starting off here, we're gonna be going into Clan Blitz on Robo Ramen shortly between these two teams. Free to play plus pass versus Lee is so cool and awesome. Oh my god, guys.
Should we just say Pass and Lee?
Pass and Lee? Sure. Because free versus Lee sounds a bit too easy to trip up.
That is true.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, Clan Blitz Robo is not what you normally see Robo on.
That is
tends
true.
To be Splat Zones.
Yeah, it tends to always just be Splat Zones because, like, honestly, Splat Zones on Robo Ramen is kind of peak. So, you know.
Yeah, so therefore, if you're gonna have or ramen, it tends to be Splat Zones. So I'll be interested to see what these teams are gonna bring on this first.
Oh, I know who these people are.
Do you?
Yes, this team right here, the green team. I know these people. Yeah, okay, I did not know they were playing this. That is fairly interesting. Their comp doesn't surprise me in the slightest. But Lee has a pretty interesting comp with an Octobrush, an Inkbrush, a Forge Pro, and N-Parry Dualies, which is very, very aggressive. That is a very interesting comp.
I think I know which team picked this. No, they both picked it. Hold on. I was like, oh yeah, the team with two brushes, definitely the team that picked it. They both picked this. So very interesting. And already we're kind of a little bit in neutral, but it does seem like Team Lee are kind of, well, they were seeming like they had a bit of an advantage there, but that immediately disappeared on them. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, the Blaster just did its thing and got some picks, and now we see the Pencil getting some clams ready, and they're almost ready to push. The bubbler's already set down, and they have the cooler up there now and drinking some juices, and now they just need the clams to get that push going. But it seems like they're actually going to go more on a neutral route here as they kind of back down into mid, as they don't really have the clams that they need, and the Booyah Bomb already interrupted their entire procedure here. So we're just gonna have to see how it plays out. We see the brush already going on a flank there, trying to surprise them, but the Pencil is not having it.
Truly not. But we can still see this brush gets a power clam, but I don't know where they're gonna go with it, and immediately ends up going down in that mid area. But at the moment, still, we are a minute and a half in here, and though Free to Play are very much on the offensive here, they're in a really good position. They've got some clams. Still, they have not made it to the basket, and they're not going to make it to the basket now. My god.
We see another Booyah Bomb. I feel like they just love Booyah Bomb. I'm surprised they get as many Booyah Bombs because Forge Pro does not really have that much painting capabilities. And they even went down, and we see the brush completely pushing down the Pencil. They got the Pencil, but the Blaster interrupted their entire flow there that they had, and now the Octobrush went down as well. The shot went down, and Parry's just over there getting some rolling. But the 52 interrupts everything because we know that 52 is kind of stupid. And yeah, Pass is getting really, really ready to push there. The bubbler is set down again. That seems kind of familiar. And now the Pencil decides to jump out. The push is on and going. And one person has some clams, but it's going to be hard to push in again because the defense kind of up there again.
Yeah, that's very much the end of that push there. But does mean that Free to Play are the first ones to actually put something in the basket here. But a push to 80 is not really a lead. It takes a power clam and a single clam to beat it, and that can happen very quickly. But that being said, Lee is so cool and awesome. They are still stuck in their base, which isn't that helpful with these brushes trying to get back out again, especially with just the range advantage having that. Okay, how did that Pencil live? Truly, how did that Pencil live? What the
I mean, they went down, but that was still kind of surprising. Oh, and I just noticed Brush Mommy.
Oh my god.
Beautiful name. The Blaster's kind of fighting the Brush. The Brush is trying to close the gap on the Blaster, but the Blaster's not having it. The Bubbler is down there again. Killer Whale is also deployed. And Pass has a power clam ready. They even have 2 power clams ready. And now we definitely see that Lee definitely has a range disadvantage. They barely have any pain. One person went down to Zuka. And now it's really in the favor of Pass there. Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Never mind! Oh my god!
Well, that certainly was something.
Oh my goodness.
Well, would you look at that. Okay, the power clam is close to disappearing, but they still got it back up there again. We only have 45 seconds left on the clock. There's another Booyah Bomb. That's like the 3rd one. Okay, maybe that's not that much for a Forge Pro. Never mind.
Yeah, very much. It just doesn't look like, even whenever Lee is so cool and awesome are able to even get anywhere out of spawn, it just doesn't last. Like, they just don't don't get anywhere close to being able to push or get the clams they need. Like, just look at that. 16 on the side of free to play, just sitting, waiting for an opportunity, versus 3 for Lee is so cool and awesome.
That is certainly true, but I feel like even Pass doesn't really get to push that much. I mean, they pushed once and they only got the power clam in. So if Lee only gets down one good push and the Brush is already pushing into their base, but they go down, so that definitely deletes that opportunity of a push. And now we just need that Brush Mommy getting into their base, but that's gonna be really difficult. But they can actually pick up their pace there, but overtime is almost over and they didn't manage to score there. And now everyone goes down, everything explodes, and everyone is kind of dead, and now Pass won.
Yeah.
Well, damn.
All over the place. Oh my goodness. But yeah, just the whole way through, free to play plus Pass, able to just keep that aggression, right? Even when they were on the back foot, it never lasted.
That is true. And like every time that Pass kind of was in that disadvantageous state, they were just kind of able to bring it back again. I mean, they had the bubbler to kind of protect themselves if the need arise or something. And especially during the pushes, that was very, very useful. But we also saw that, you know, their push opportunities were sometimes not that worth it. I mean, they tried to push in twice, I think, and only one of the pushes really worked out. So I feel like it's actually really even just in terms of clambless. We don't know how the other modes are going to go.
Yeah, important to note that it definitely wasn't a stomp, right? That was 100% something that Lee is so cool and awesome could have come back from. They just didn't get the opportunity that they needed for that, which is unfortunate, but does happen. So I'm not like this does not, to me, spell disaster for Lee is so cool and awesome. It just means they need to be on their game going into the second round or second game of the set. They need to be ready for this.
But I mean, gladly for them, we have another peak map mode coming up. We have Mako Zones. We go from peak map, not so peak mode for the map, to peak map mode. So I mean, Zones Mako is kind of another peak map mode in my opinion. It's really fun to play on and just very fun in general. I don't like it on tower, but I really like it on zones.
Yeah, I don't actually mind it on either, to be fair, because it is just that kind of nice close quarters kind of map that I think works well with both, but also it is so like it's so quick, right? To get from mid to, or get from spawn to mid. So you just have to be careful that people don't stay dead.
That is true. I mean, I feel like you always have to watch out for that. But now, wait. Neo Splash, okay, I kind of expected that. This is zones. And Brush Nouveau, which is...
Yeah. Oh!
Speaking of which, that's a wipeout.
Oh, that's a move. I see kind of where they're going with this, because at least like there's a little bit of range coming from it's not a massive amount regardless, and this is a very small map, small zone, so you can kind of get away with that. But oh my goodness, that is a struggle. That's a 3 down on the side of free. Yeah, there we go. That is a delayed wipe for free to play like free to play class. They've gone all of them back.
That is very much true. And now we see the brushes are kind of being a little bit more aggressive. Brush Mommy kind of trying to push in. I love that name. Pass still on the back foot there, but the bubbler is deployed, and now there was a Zuka there. Brush Mommy is still alive. I wonder for how much longer. Okay, they're not alive anymore. Pass has zone again. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. And they're almost through those penalty points. There we go. They're through them now, which means they will get to that 55 mark. Absolutely. Oh, or, yeah, they will. Okay. It's like, oh, we had a moment to pause.
Yeah, we had a moment.
But it does switch. They only get to 50, which kind of incredible that they were able to bring that back so quickly. But with only 2 brushes on the field right now, I don't know how well this is going to go against a Sniper Rider like that.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, the Sniper Rider just took 1 person down. The Neo Splash on Lee is the only one that remains. Oh, that was a suction bomb there.
Oh.
That was very fortunate for Lee. And there's also a Splat Bomb. That was very close as well. And now we see the Neo Splash being in the zone. And there's another suction bomb, okay. I feel like this is kind of the hell of bombs that we have here. And
yes,
god damn it.
Oh my
What is that
goodness.
splash cooking? Oh, okay, they just got bombed by a Dryzuka.
So much going on right now. But still, the whole way through that, Lee is so cool. Was able to hold on to it. Not able to get through all the penalty points, but still at least work their way through them a little bit. But Free to Play still has not that much when it comes to penalty points. They're already through them. They're already working on those actual points now, which will serve them well. But how long are they going to keep being able to hold this? Not long at all.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, we see that the zone is kind of neutral now. Oh, there's a triple splash. I think the first one that we've seen in this round there. I feel like end parry doesn't get too much of them because it always kind of dies because it's an end parry. I mean, it's very aggressive, so that makes sense. And now we see that pass there. There's a brush trying to go around the flank, but there's a bubbler placed there. But they still managed to get inside the bubbler and get the blaster, but that was not enough as the pencil just directly took revenge for the blaster there. And now it's all just exploding again.
Yep,
and
they
now
need
Lee
to
has
get that
some...
zone.
Ooh.
They need...
Like, damn. That was kind of close, and now it's really, really close for Pass to win this. Only the brushes remain, so that is definitely going to be KO.
Yeah, that's gonna be a very solid end to that game there. It was back and forth. Definitely, Leia, Sukul, and Awesome had their moments where they were able to get a hold of that zone, able to work their way down. But just not enough, right? They weren't able to switch it over enough times to kind of slow down what free-to-play plus pass we're trying to get done there.
That is true, but what I also think just kind of led to Pass being a little bit more dominant there was just their counter for the comp that Lee had. I mean, Lee's comp was obviously very, very short ranged. I mean, they literally had 2 brushes. And the only thing that was really long range was the strikes that the Neo Splash outputted. But even those strikes were not as frequent as you would guess that a Neo Splash would output them. So that also just kind of led to them maybe having a little bit of a paint disadvantage or just overall range disadvantage, and yeah.
Yeah, it just didn't end up working out for them. I don't know, free-to-play pass, like, there are comps that are meta for a reason. You can definitely break meta convention, but at times, if you're not breaking it in a way that tries to counter what the meta is doing, it does mean that you just kind of get, like, it's like bashing against a brick wall. It's hard to get through. So... yeah, fair play to Lee Sukul. Maybe further in groups they can figure out a way around this with other teams, but this first game between these 2 teams is going to be going to... okay, wait, never mind. Probably they'll have a better time against Bernstein. I can't
Bernstein, I think.
But I'm not so sure about top seed.
Oh my god, I just realized.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna go that well for them. But maybe they'll figure out against that in second round. Maybe they'll figure out what they're doing here with those 2 brushes. But with that in mind, we're going to go to a short break as we wait to get on to round 2. So don't be going anywhere. Welcome back, everyone. We are already into round 2 here, or we have Sweet Bayou versus 21 Tails miles per hour because the German wasn't safe for work.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, I'm kind of glad that I'm here right now, or else this would have been funny. Yes.
But yes.
Yeah. We have the return of Rowa Ramen, but this time on Zone, so it's actually Peak. And we have Ship Shape on Tower and Humpback Pump Track on Rainmaker.
Yes, indeed. So, hope to see. I should have said this last round, but hope to see Game 3 this round, because we did not get the opportunity last round. So that would be quite interesting. As far as these two teams, though, actually, I have to have a look and see if I can see them in the bracket. So, definitely, seeding-wise, Sweet Bayou even, is definitely seeded that bit higher at 18 versus 21 Tails, which is seeded at 38. So it's interesting to see if we if we get an upset with these two teams, because Sweet Bayou did not win their first round against a different team that are seeded 23rd. So interesting to keep that in mind as we go into this first game of the set.
Absolutely. And now we're gonna see the comms being Bamboo. That is very interesting, and also VDS or CDS. I didn't really see it. And Zinc Mini, which is also kind of common right now. Splash 96 Scal, which is not that common because Kraken kind of sucks right now. And I just realized I know that Splash on the team of Sweet Bayou. Okay, that's funny. I just know all the people right now. And now
Apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely these teams fighting for mid here. It's not often that you see a Bamboo, by the way. These are definitely different. We're seeing different team comps today. We love the lack of meta in the room.
Absolutely. I mean, the meta is interesting, but I wouldn't say it's like the best we've ever had. We see that 21 Tails currently have control of the zone. We see that Ariana pushing into the other team's space, but they certainly went down there. I love the names today. Now the Kraken is deployed, wreaking havoc there. Oh, but there's also Tri-Strike, which got 2 people. Ooh. And now the Kraken is definitely gonna go down, or never mind. Okay, never mind. It actually did.
My goodness. This is the comeback that they were hoping for, but are they going to be able to hold on to that zone? They still are trying, but 21 Tails are just pushing, and back Sweet Bayou go. Oh my goodness. But they have a crab, hoping to get a bit more paint coverage in that zone, but they're not getting all that much out of it at the moment.
Yeah, that is true. I feel like their value was just kind of limited there. They didn't really have any other special. And now the Custom Blaster, which had a special, went down there, and they only really have a bubbler to push in, because the crab was already used, and now there's literal Tri-Strikes flying all over the people, and now there's Kilauea. There's just so much displacement here. And now 21 Tails are really in a big advantage, and the Splashdown will not be able to change much about that.
Yep, yet again, they're getting like slight picks, but not enough. There we go. That's the moment they were looking for with the Kraken, but they haven't taken out all of 21 Tails. They're still Dizziness is still pushing the zone and has been able to stall long enough to get the rest of their teammate back in, and then just one by one it does seem like Sweet Bayou are going down, which is not ideal, and just lets 21 Tails kind of push way up and start pressuring into their base.
Yeah, and the penalty is also on a very close way to just go down there. We see that one person kind of pushed in there on their own. That didn't really work out for them. I mean, 96 doesn't really have the best RNG to begin with. So that didn't really work out there. But the zone is neutralized. There's a wave breaker, and there's also a splashdown. Sweet Bayou finally has control over the zone, and now there's a killer rail being output there. And the splash goes down as well on the side of Sweet Bayou, and there is another one that goes down. It was Ariana, and
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I love it.
important to note that it just seems like Sweet Bayou doesn't have any real staying potential, and because Sphinx here is completely out of position now, it doesn't take much for them to get taken down. It does mean that Sweet Bayou like are able to get towards this zone and possibly cap it. No. This is probably looking like it's gonna be the end of the game here. Oh, unfortunate.
That is
But-
very, very unfortunate, because I definitely felt like Sweet Bayou had some really good attempts at getting the zone back, especially with like the crouching, but there weren't really that many things to follow up on that. I mean, the crouching was just kind of on its own, and they didn't really have any other special ready, and then another teammate went down, so that was kind of unfortunate for their movement there.
Yeah, it did kind of seem like regardless of what they were trying to get done there, Sweet Bayou, like they had some pushes that worked, but there wasn't any staying power, right? So they would push in, they'd get the zone, and then it wouldn't take much for 21 Tails to just overwhelm them. Even when they were using specials and getting picks, it just never, like, it never lasted. And I suppose as well, because 21 Tails had that, like the, oh, what's it called? The strikes, right? That
Yes.
automatically counters the bubble that they use, to kind of have that staying potential. And then, yeah, just I don't think they were winning their 1v1s and working together as much as they kind of needed to be. So setting up for this game too, I don't know, Sweet Bayou kind of need to play a bit more together, I think.
Yeah, and maybe change their comp a little bit, because I gotta say the comp that 21 Tails had was kind of interesting. It's not something that we really see a lot, especially not Neo Machine.
No.
Because there's just so many better alternatives for Zuka, and especially alternatives that paint more and also get special more. Shot looking at you there. But also Shot is not played that often. I feel like Zuka in general is not that special that you currently need that much. It's just really strike spam that we see a lot. It's of course cooler because we've seen that for like over a year now. And a lot more bubble. I mean, I've seen some bubble comps, like double bubble comps with like Decavitator and Zimmy, or just Roller and Decavitator. That's really popular right now. And just a lot of dive comps with like
Yes,
a lot of
and then-
aggressive weapons.
Depending on how people use the decav, then you also have like the inkjet filling the role of Azuka at times. So it's not as synonymous as it used to be, but definitely interesting that is the weapon they're using it to have it. So yeah, going into the second game of the set. What does Sweet Bayou really need? I think something a lot more kind of dependable for that range than maybe that 96 can offer them.
Oh, I just realized who Ariana is. Oh my god, I love that name. Holy marbles. Okay, did they really change their comp? Okay, they got a shot now instead of a splash. They have a 52 Gal Deco, they have a 96 Gal Deco, and it's still the custom blaster. I thought it was a custom range blaster. I wasn't sure. When we see that, that Sweet Bayou has some sort of advantage, but now it seems like it kind of went back there again, and 21 Tails have a bigger advantage there. Oh yeah, definitely. The shot is the
100%.
only one remaining.
Yeah, they fought for their lives there, but it didn't end up going well. And look at that paint coverage. Look at how far up 21 Tails has paint coverage. They can see that player coming a mile off. They're still alive so long after they probably should have been, but that was barely an annoyance there for 21 Tails. As they continue, they're past that first checkpoint, they're going towards the second, but finally Sweet Bayou able to get the tower off them, even for a little bit.
That is true, but they already pushed to 39, if I read that correctly. which is definitely not something that Sweet By You really needs. And they're also 2 down by now, and the 52 Galdeco is kind of struggling against all the special flags towards them. And now that's a damn wipeout against Sweet By You, and they're already at the last checkpoint there. And now we just see that they push in a little bit more, and now 21 Tails is really at the front foot that they've ever been in. And now it's a 2v3 actually, so maybe Sweet By You has some chances to go back there, but it's gonna be really difficult.
Yes, indeed. And with 21 Tails, like, they still had dizziness here, kind of pushed very much up, meaning that Sweet By You have to get through this player before they can go anywhere near the zone, or not the zone, the tower. So already the tower is coming back towards, like, I was gonna say checkpoint, but there's no checkpoints left.
Yeah, that is the thing. I feel like that's why Sweet By You is really in this bad situation, because they still have all the checkpoints to go, even though it's only 2. But yeah, they still haven't pushed up until this point. We still have about half of the timer left. But we see that the 52 Galdeco is just the last one, and now they already went down, and now only the custom blaster is there, and they just respawn, so that's going to be really difficult to build up on.
Yes, it is. It's going to be very difficult for them. They need to get picks right now. They need to get specials, and they need to be careful not to go down unnecessarily. They've got their 1 up at the moment. That's 2 up. This is what they need, but they just need to be so careful not to end up going down to these last 2 players. Oh, okay. There's still 2 of them. They've got 2 of them, but already 21 Tails are back.
Yeah, that is true. They just had that. Wait, do they even have a cooler?
No one has a cooler.
No.
No one.
Oh, yeah, I just realized no one has a cooler. I was just about to say they maybe they had a cooler and just returned to a point of origin, but
Nope.
No, nobody has a cooler, which is also very interesting. I didn't even notice that. Maybe I'm just blind.
We were too focused on the rest of the weapon changes between game 1 and this, so we hadn't even noticed. But yeah, this is very much still a struggle for Sweet By You. They're going in a little bit separated, which is giving 21 Tails very much. It's a lot easier for them to just pick the players off before they can really make any difference.
Yeah, that is true. And we see that the custom blaster is just kind of staring there at the balloon. But it's gonna be hard to push up there. The bamboo is already at that charging point where it's gonna be hard to contest them. And we already see the custom blaster went down. It's only 1 minute left, and they're still pushing that tower. And at this choke point, it's kind of hard to kind of contest the tower for both sides. But we see that Sweet By You has managed to do that right now. But still, 45 seconds, that is not a lot of time. And we see that the Dowser, not the Dowser Dualies, the Dualie Squelchers are just behind the tower, and they're sharking off that shot, and they don't know. They do not know.
There we go. They finally figured that out. But yet again, these Dualies have a lot of range here, and against a single shot, that can be quite difficult to deal with. But that has split them up, diverted their attention, and already here come 21 Tails back in, stopping everything that Sweet By You tries to throw at them. They still haven't been able to put. They've pushed 1 point, and now they can't get to the tower.
Yeah, I mean, that curling bomb certainly won't do anything. The 52 trying to do its best, but definitely not being able to get a pick on that machine, and that is game for 21 Tails.
This game. Oh, that's so unfortunate, and does mean that's the set going to 21 Tails. So I do believe, because obviously groups only has 3 rounds, this is definitely not looking good for Sweet By You. This would be, I do believe, their second loss.
I think so too, yes.
So that is not
unfortunate.
ideal.
Unfortunate, yes.
Seems likely they'll be going down to the beta bracket unless they can do something against Symphony, which, since we've all, well, if you've been around Paddling Pool, you'll have heard of Symphony. Symphony turn up. There's a reason they are seeded 3rd. So that is going to be quite a struggle for them. Not impossible, but quite a struggle.
That is the truth that you're speaking. But yes, shall we just go on a quick little break to
Yes, I
Sword
think
our thoughts.
so. I will say that it's just unfortunate for Sweet By You. They just ended up kind of not being able to deal with what 21 Tails were throwing at them, and yeah, I think there's not really much else to say about that set.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, but it happens. So, yep, we're going to be going to a short break as we ready up for round 3. So do not be going anywhere.
Hello, folks. Welcome back to Paddling Pool with the number 295.
He got it right! Oh my god!
Mm-hmm.
We always
Okay,
expect the
anyway,
least.
we have the team Tribunos I can't pronounce that. We're just gonna say tribute, and we have Red Velvet Sea.
Hold on. We know what we googled it. We know what it means. It means fish taxes. So
In Portuguese.
in Portuguese, it means fish taxes. So that's so much easier to say in English. But oh my god, yeah. So we'll call them tribute and/or fish taxes, depending on how we feel at that given moment.
Yeah.
But yes, versus Red Velvet Sea.
On Inkblot Clamblitz, and we have Ship-Shaped Tower again, and we also have Rainmaker on Humpback again, even though we've never seen that before in this
Yeah.
Stream. We've never
It's
seen it
been
before
there.
ever.
It's been there. Just we didn't get to it. So be interesting to see if we get the opportunity for a game 3 for this set this time, and we might actually end up seeing some Rainmaker Humpback. But really does
Maybe.
depend on these two teams. Don't really know what they're going to be playing or what to expect. But we wait for them to sort themselves out in the lobby so we can get into the first game of the set. Thoughts on Clamblitz Inkblot?
It's okay. I would say it's better than Zones. Definitely better than Rainmaker on this map, because Rainmaker on this map sucks, but definitely worse than Tower.
Oh yeah, Tar
By
is,
like a
Tar is what
mile.
this is known for.
We have the return of the
Oh.
ink brush.
Oh my god, we're getting a lot of
It's
ink brushes today.
Platana Wiper.
Interesting. Also, important to note that fish taxes doesn't really none of those are even really mid lines, let alone a backline. So definitely we're seeing a bit less backline play this paddling pool, but already Red Velvet Sea, that's 3 down, and the last one being way back at the back, not going to be able to kind of hold this off. But
Oh.
fish taxes don't have a power climb yet.
Yeah, they don't have a power clam. They did have a
There we
Zuka
go.
there, and they barely scored. That almost missed there. And yeah, we see Fish Taxes kind of have that dive comp there with the Splatana Wiper, and just another ink brush on the side of Red Velvet Sea, paired with a heavy edit just as like the substitute for a pencil. But they also run double. Oh no, they don't. I just thought they ran double cooler, but that was just the ends up on the other team. And they also run Squiffer, but like the classic Squiffer, maybe just like for Bubble, because Bubble's pretty good right now. But yeah, we see Fish Taxes on the front foot there. They have a
Yeah.
power climb again, so that's gonna be easy for them to push in, but the 52 is like being stupid again. And
Oh,
they got the
Yeah.
power climb in again.
yes, they did. Oh my goodness, fish taxes just already starting this game so strong. They've kind of got what they're looking for right now. Oh, unfortunate, the basket kind of got in the way there. They're still kind of just keeping Red Velvet Sea pretty pushed back, but also fish taxes aren't really working together at the moment. Not exceptionally. They're just
Yeah,
winning their 1v1s.
Yeah, they're just really winning their 1v1s, and also they just, I think individually, they're just really strong, and they have a good match against Red Velvet Sea, and they're just pushing in like it's nothing, even if it means sacrificing. I feel like that's really just that dive comp that they really run right now, but damn, that strike just got 2 people.
Yep. Oh my god.
Like, that was explosive there.
I was about to say, is this the opportunity that Red Velvet Sea were looking for? But this is immediately falling apart for them. They got a little bit of mid, but this Brush is the only one alive. Brush, what are you planning to do here? I don't think your teammates have. Yeah, they don't have the opportunity to put it in at the moment. They have to go back, even though they got to that basket. It wasn't the right timing. But yeah, back on the defense and struggling.
Struggling a lot. Like, they do have 2 people down right now. They also have a power climb, but getting back into mid and also just painting a lot seems very difficult. I mean, Heavy Edit got its paint nerf. Tanatech can paint very well, but it's not like Neosplash is better at fighting than Neosplash. Brush's paint is not bad, but it's gonna be hard if it doesn't have like some paint up its foot there, maybe for like pushing in or something. And yeah, we see that fish taxes kind of have the advantage here, just in paint and, you know.
Yeah, and also the ability to win these 1v1s. Every time we're switching over, it seems like Velvet Sea are not in a good position to take the fights. But wait, they didn't get the Park Lemon. They didn't get the Park Lemon. They missed it. Okay, are they going to be able to keep it alive, though? It does seem like they're keeping this Park Lemon alive, at least for now. Red Velvet Sea, trying their best right now.
Yeah. But trying your best is sometimes not enough. The power clam holder goes down on the side of fish taxes. It's a 4v2, but one person already respawned, and they're not really getting up to mid, I feel like. They're like not taking
more.
Yeah, they're not taking their opportunities right now. And now we see that fish taxes already went back, and that scam completely mushed them.
Oh, that's
like
so
aloha to them. You know? Aloha.
So bad.
Oh, wait! They pushed in!
And they got it just in time. Oh my goodness. The timing of that cannot be understated. But I'm not sure this is going to be enough for them. They needed to get if they got that other Park Lamp in, then they would have gotten lead. But that wasn't, oh, they weren't able to do that. That does mean they need to get one more push in, and they're going to need, I think one Park Lamp. Sure. One Park Lamp do it? Am I freaking...
I mean, I'm not sure, but...
I don't think so. No, one Park Lamp will not do it.
Damn.
I need more than that. But,
no.
oh dear.
Oh wait, they just pushed in again.
Oh,
yeah, they're like really going in
Never
for singular
mind.
pushes, and now it's like only 3 seconds left. And they don't really have a power clam, I think. Oh, they do now, never mind. That
Yeah,
was
they'll
close.
get an extra one as well, but the issue is they need to win the 1v1s, and that's already 2 down, puts them on the back foot, and fish taxes are pushed way up. That you cannot really defend yourself from that. Especially on your own. Oh gosh.
Damn.
That's truly a struggle.
That was a struggle, like... We saw that fish taxes, they're like really playing this dive kind of playstyle. They're just going in, dying, especially the Splatana Wiper, and just go for singular pushes just to get a few points off, even if that doesn't really matter that much, but they still got a lot of points down. And yeah, Red Revelcy wasn't really able to counter that pretty often.
Yeah, they just were not, which is really not great. Not a great place for them to be in coming into the second game of the set. They definitely need to figure out some way to just deal with the dive comp that fish taxes are going with here, right? They just are not able to kind of deal with that, and I don't know what they can do to work that out in the space of one game, because they do need to, or the set's just gonna go the other way.
And now we see the return of Tower on Shipshape Cargo Corporation.
Been here before.
That seems familiar.
Maybe just a tad. Oh yeah, this Ship can like definitely snowball. So you need, with how fish taxes have been playing, Red Velvet Sea are very much on the back foot, needing to figure out what they can do about that. I don't know what the answer is, or what they're gonna be able to do with this.
I feel like just figuring it out again is the main key part of this entire set there, but it's gonna be difficult for both sides.
And maybe trying to like stay more together if at all possible, because fish taxes they're definitely winning the 1v1s, but then force it into a 2v1 would be my suggestion. But I'm not sure how well that's gonna work for them.
Oh, Splatana? Wait, what? Undercover?
What? Okay.
Either they're trolling, or they actually like undercover.
Also, can I just say, Aloha was the wiper last round.
Yeah. And now we
Aloha
have a
is
Sultana
not.
Scamper Nouveau.
No, but that's not Aloha. Aloha's the undercover.
Yeah. Like that is an interesting comp chase. Did they have the? Yeah, they had the thing before. Wait, did they have the? Yeah, they had the 52. Okay, I'm
that's
up to date again.
all that's changed are those two weapons. But oh my goodness, yeah, this is starting in the way that Fish Taxes was looking for. This is Def. They're already through that first checkpoint. Red Velvet Sea already stuck in the back lines here, and oh my god. That's them on the checkpoint. Is the Brush gonna be able to get the pick? They are! They're on that. Finally, they're able to get out, but they need to make sure that they can get rid of the players on Fish Taxes who are still knocking about here, causing chaos. And it's currently a 2v2. Ooh! Velvet Sea able to eke it out in their favor and get the delayed wipe. Very nice.
And like they're pushing in right now, getting their first kind of points there.
They need to go further.
Which is important in their current state. We see that the Tri-Strike is already going down. They also have a bubbler ready, and the tactical is also coming down there.
Don't know the player is there.
Oh
my
the
god!
takes the player down, but the
Squiffer!
Squiffer coming in clutch there, but they're actually being taken down by the undercover.
Oh, that is unfortunate. They were starting to make some progress there, but just not quite enough. They at least got through that first checkpoint, but look at all the paint coverage they are actively losing at the moment. It's not a good position to be in. This Crab trying to see if it can find anything, but not able to. Hello? What the frick is the backline doing there?
Nobody understands the Zarya. I really don't think anybody understands that.
Oh my god.
And the Brush almost getting picked. They just got an assist and they just decided to jump out because they're not having it. That was like way too close there. Also Yukari, Persona 3 reference. We love it. Anyway.
Very important to note.
Of course.
But yes, still very much Fish Taxes are pushing or trying to keep this going, but Red Velvet Sea able to isolate some of the players and stop them from running away with it at the moment, which does mean we're back into a bit of a more neutral phase of the game. But Fish Taxes is still getting a lot done here to stop Red Velvet Sea from being able to get anywhere with this tower. So not ideal.
Yeah, definitely not ideal. Red Velvet Sea continuing to push in though, as we see right now. There's a Reslider coming by the undercover. I actually think that did some. Oh yeah,
mind.
That was a damn wipeout. Like holy moly.
Oh god, it just switches so quickly. Where Red Velvet Sea gets some kind of advantage, and then it just doesn't last. Which is unfortunate, but also I don't know what else they can do right now because they're just losing players left and right. The Brush is trying to stay alive, but everyone knows where they are right now, and without much help from their teammates, they're just ducking and weaving at the moment, and it's worked out. But there's still the people being able to jump in. Oh, they were able to get the stumper. Okay, that could have gone very wrong.
That is true. Like holy moly! Oh my god, the undercover 1v1, the undercover one, but now it's against the Squiffer, and the Squiffer won, and now the Squiffer is down, and now the player that killed the Squiffer is kind of in the battle against the Headed, but the Headed lost, and now there's a Crab Tank almost, but not really. They have the Crab Tank ready, but they don't use it yet.
There's that crab.
And
oh my
Fish
goodness.
Taxes, they go in again.
They do indeed. That player able to use their strikes before they go down, but not able to get any utility with it, and that is... Oh, that's 2 down there, and now Fish Taxes are finally getting past that checkpoint. That was their last line of defense. Red Velvet Sea not able to get on the tower in time.
That was
Unfortunate.
really, really unfortunate.
Yeah.
But like that undercover.
Yeah. Still a hell of a pick. Oh my god.
Oh, that was so goofy, but I love it.
Yep. They picked it. We questioned it, and they won anyway. Oh my god. These
Like,
players.
whoa.
But yeah, that game, Red Velvet Sea, definitely put up much more of like a fighting chance as opposed to the first game of the set. But still, it wasn't quite enough. Even whenever Red Velvet Sea had the advantage, it just never lasted. We never actually got them being able to get the advantage they're looking for. That's as far as they got, that 38.
Mhm.
But they just immediately got wiped as soon as they got there.
Yeah, getting wiped is really not something that you want.
No, not against fish taxes.
Not against
Definitely
fish
not. But yeah, that does mean third 2-0 of the day does finish off our round 3 of groups. Meaning that we're gonna have a bit of a break as everything gets settled and everyone figures out which bracket they're in, etc., and everyone finishes off the rest of round 3. So yeah, this is gonna be a touch longer than the other breaks we've been having so far, but we will be back as quickly as possible with more Splatoon gameplay in Alpha Bracket.
Yours and mine. Yours and mine. Where am I?
Welcome back, everyone. We are into the alpha bracket now of Paddling Pool 295. And just as a little reminder, hi, I'm Zari, joined by the lovely, the amazing Spy.
Hello. Oh my
You
god.
never not sound awkward. Oh my god.
Awkward. I'm just trying to make this funny, okay?
That's true. That's fair.
Trying to lighten the mood up a little bit.
Oh my god. And as has been happening throughout today, we're getting a lot of German teams. And this is because Spy just brings them in, you know?
Yeah, it's my fault. And I summoned all of the Germans. I was like, we have this private German server for everyone that plays Splatoon.
Yeah.
Like everyone
Yeah.
is in it, even if they don't know of Discord. And I said, you need to play this tournament today because I'm commentating and you're all gonna be streamed. That was of
Yep.
course my doing.
Yeah, yeah.
We're trying to take over the world, you know. Splatoon
Maybe
world.
don't do that. Oh
The
my
Splatoon
God.
world. Stop getting in the reference. Sorry, that was not a reference.
Anyway, Operation Zero versus Unholy. About to get into this game one of Alpha Bracket. See what these teams have got, and already we're still on the slightly not quite meta side of things. But what I will say is, who chose this goddamn map?
I think it was Operation Zero, or no, was it Unholy? I'm not sure right now. It was one of the two teams.
I think it was Unholy. Yeah, it was Unholy.
Yeah, it was Unholy.
Why are we here? Unholy, why did you do this?
I feel like maybe they want to
Win. Yeah, which is
they want to
apparently it's going
express
well
their
for them,
dominance on this map.
because no one else wants to be here.
That
Bruh.
is true.
Oh my god, well they've got through the first checkpoint, which is good, but that's already 3 of them down. So, very much that puts them on the back foot, and let's Operation Zero pin up, grab what they need, and get ready for a push of their own. This is very much like Undertow in the way that, like, that first checkpoint is 5 centimeters from the beginning.
That is so true. I mean, literally the checkpoints in Hammerhead are just so awkward. I mean, literally the Rainmaker checkpoint is also like 2 centimeters next to the starting point. And oh my god, Operation Zero got some picks there.
Yep,
They're
got
still on the
lead
front
as well.
foot. Yeah,
Um,
that's true.
Very much still trying to keep this push alive. They've got their cooler out and ready, but that is 2 down on both sides at the moment, meaning that these teams have to be a little bit more careful, but already Unholy ends up with the 3 down versus Operation Zero is 2 down, meaning that Operation Zero continues their push.
And continuing their push with the second checkpoint, which is actually not 5 centimeters next to the other checkpoint, which is surprising to say the least.
Yes.
And Unholy actually got some of their control back. They're almost closing in on mid, but there's a lot of bomb spamming there. There's a ink storm there, just wreaking havoc or doing like some 2 damage or something.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a wipeout done by Unholy. That I did not expect that. I didn't even see everyone was going down.
Yep, and should let them at least approach, if not get to, that checkpoint right there and get lead. But there's the strikes coming in, stopping that push from going any further. And they've delayed it just enough to kind of waste as much time of Unholy's time as possible. But they're still on that tower, pushing through. And with 2 down on the side of Operation Zero, 3 down, I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. They're almost to that 3rd checkpoint.
Yeah, that.
this
That
might
is-
be. This
that
is looking
is-
like it might be game.
Dude, why are we always interrupting each other?
Yeah,
Why
I
are
know,
we
sorry.
starting to talk at the same time? We're so stupid. We share
so
2
much to
brain
say.
cells.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
And
we
there's
always
Zuka.
Same things.
Okay, speak.
Oh, okay. I was. Anyway, Operation Zero finally out of their base, finally able to recover from that. But with a push to 5, they have such an uphill battle ahead of them. This is not a place you want to be in, especially first game of the set. Ooh, this is not ideal.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that statement. I mean that is anything other than ideal. Tri-Strikes are ready for Operation Zero, but they still kind of need a bit control to actually push in. And Unholy also deploys their Tri-Strikes, getting a hold of mid once again. We only have like 1 minute and 15 seconds left, so that's gonna be hard for Operation Zero to push back. But we also see that the Tri-Strikes that Operation Zero has held onto are now finally being deployed. Didn't do that much though. Oh, but there's another explosion there, maybe getting some displacement there that they needed. But once again, Unholy's still stuck in mid there.
Oh, yep, still trying to find it out, figure out which team is going to get the advantage, and it goes to Operation Zero. And we're less than 40 seconds left here. They need a bit of a miracle to kind of get this done. And yet again, here's the strikes. We see a lot of this. They're definitely not GG strikes. It's not over yet, but it's to be expected that we're getting strikes thrown at the tower in that way. And Operation Zero, oh dear, I don't.
Oh yeah,
this is not gonna happen.
This is like Jover, as the hip kids say, or something.
Truly Jover, but yeah, okay, they tried. Operation Zero tried to get to that tower, but nope, not today.
True, but trying is always what gets you further, or something.
Yep.
I'm trying to do like some kind of motivational speech, but that doesn't really work. It is what it is.
It truly is. And Unholy, they had the weird pick, but the weird pick that worked. So especially like a push to 5, insane, absolutely insane.
Yeah, especially on a map mode like Hammerhead. I mean.
Very dominant.
It's been like famous for being one of the worst maps. And also, like the stage rework only affected zones. Like, why?
Yeah,
And
it doesn't
Nintendo
really
explained this.
make it all that much better. And yet, still, throughout that game, Operation Zero just ended up taking, especially in the second half, ended up taking more casualties than Unholy. And that, like, even though they were able to get a good push of their own going, it just did not lead to where they needed it to. So that means coming into this second game of the set, Hagglefish Market, on Splat Zones, they need to kind of get control of that zone and keep it for as long as possible, which I suppose is the whole point of the game mode, but it means more to them, as we are, I think this is into Sigil Elim, so whoever loses this is out.
Yeah, like they gotta fight for their lives right now, folks.
Yeah.
And yeah, you actually need to hold the zones, Ari. That is true. Thank you for explaining the mode.
Yeah. It is a very complicated mode, in fact, one of the most.
Paint the damn square.
Just keep it your color, then you win. Oh my God.
Display turf war, but on specific turf.
This bit, just this bit.
Yeah, just on specific turf.
Also, important to note, we figured this out just before going live, but every single map in this set begins with the letter H. Isn't that a fun little tidbit? Doesn't happen often because no one plays freaking Hammerhead. But
that is true. Is there another map that starts with H?
Other than these three?
I'm not sure. We're gonna have to look that up after the set, but
I would be unsure as well. But yeah, these teams fighting over mid, fighting over neutral, but it's already Operation Zero's color pretty quickly. Important with Unholy, they do still have that Nautilus, but it's not against the Mini on the side of Operation Zero. So definitely both, a lot of paint output coming out from those two.
Yeah, I mean, Zimmy is painting really a lot, and oh my god, that Trizuka, and behind them, I would have turned around, to be honest, and do that 180.
Yeah, those sick flicks are always incredible to see, but we didn't get the opportunity there. Operation Zero trying to get this zone back, but there's a lot of people fighting over it at the moment.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, the bubble is also deployed, but now it just kind of broke, and they have a triple splashdown ready. One person is trying to kind of flank from the left side, being the squeezer there. And like a lot of people still play Squeezer, even though it kind of got hit. I feel like Squeezer's player plays just declined after that nerf. which is actually kind of good. I hate Squeezer.
Yeah, it's
But the triple
certainly
splashdown, holy moly.
Ooh, it's certainly a weapon that you need to be very direct on playing. Let's just say, like you need to be committed to play Squeezer. So fair play to them; they're gonna stick with it. But already, Operation Zero keeping control of this zone here, working down those points. They don't have too far to go. And they do have a lot of specials on their side at the moment, but they do not have the person advantage.
That is true, but they can just kind of keep stalling on the zone until they actually need to use the special. As we see right now, there's a tri-strike, but also there is the tri-strike by the other team, but they still handled that zone like champions. Oh, never mind.
Well, no, they still got the lead there. They still flipped it.
Yeah, they
But
still have the lead, but still.
20 penalty points is not very much. They're in that bubble trying to keep it alive, but the rain coming out is going to stop everything they were attempting to do there, and they lose a player almost immediately. That's 2 down for Operation Zero. Not what they need at all. And these players, they're getting surrounded. They're on their own, and the zone, it just keeps ticking.
That is true. And we see, I mean, it's a 2v3 right now, basically. And now another person went down on the side of Operation Zero. And Unholy still manages to hold onto the zone. It is very neutralizing, and the Nautilus kind of trying to do its thing, but the Zuka actually kind of capped it.
It doesn't happen very often.
Zuka very versatile.
Yep. But Operation Zero trying to hold on to this, but there's 2 down. Oh, that's 3 down, actually, which means automatically that is going to flip. But it stays in neutral for longer than it probably should have there. So interesting that they kind of, it wasn't the primary focus. They just needed it to not be blue.
Yeah.
But they're still working through those penalty points.
Oh, that pencil just totally got a hold of that person that just tried to go through that corner and try to kind of surprise them, but that certainly didn't work. And now the zone is neutralized once again. I feel like that's just, they tried to neutralize it, and now it's on the side of not Unholy, on Operation Zero. And now they got another pick there. They have the Zuka ready. I feel like that's gonna land on top of the pencil in about like 5 seconds. But
Yep,
we'll
they're
see how that
definitely
goes.
trying to position everyone in their mind before they let the Zuka shots fly. They're definitely waiting it out. But there we go. All right, that is a 1 pick with it. Are they able to find another? Yes, they do. Oh,
God damn it,
goodness.
Zuka.
We should also mention Operation Zero did get the lead there, but they ended up pretty much entirely, I think that was a delayed wave, going down. So that means that Unholy has another opportunity here. They do not have very many penalty points to get through. So Operation Zero really need to get back in as soon as possible. And it comes down to how they play this and if they're able to use their specials well together.
Through, but Unholy so close to getting the lead. They actually get the lead, and now there's the Zuka almost getting a pick there, but now they're being kind of ambushed by the Nautilus. The Nautilus gets a trade there. It's a 3v2. They try to cap the zone. They actually managed to do this, and now 10 seconds before the timer runs out, it's gonna be an overtime.
It is indeed, but there's so many penalty points for them to get through. They need to stay alive here. That is incredibly important, and also important to be able to kind of take those 1v1s when they get them. So we've got some specials coming out on both sides here, but Operation Zero are holding this. They're holding it steady. Here come the GG strikes. Are they going to be able to... Oh, they put strikes of their own on the zone. Is it going to be enough? Can they keep it?
Oh, the Ink Storm, the Ink Storm, the Ink Storm. Oh my god, Ink Storm clutch.
They were not able to. Oh. One day we would have a game 3, but not today.
Probably
Not
when there's
for
a best of
us.
5. Probably when there's a best of 5.
Oh, that was so close between those two teams. Operation Zero almost were able to clutch it out there, but it just was not going to happen. They definitely were fighting tooth and nail there at the end. But Operation Zero just ended up losing too many players right whenever it mattered the most.
And yeah, with that, Unholy just got like that 2-0. I mean, that's like the third or fourth 2-0. Wait, have we seen 3 or 4?
It's all two. It's
Yeah.
all. Yeah, we've seen 4. We've seen 4 games, and
4,
they've all been 2-0s. So I wish all the best for the second block of Paddling Pool today, because I think they're almost immediately going into a best of 5 scenario, maybe. So they will see it game 3, but not for us, not today. But yes, with that in mind, we should mention that we are switching over. Oh, never mind. Never
still have
mind.
one more block.
They're giving us another one. Oh my god. Normally we
Game
only get 4
3.
games, but we get a game. We get a 5th round even. Hell yeah. Okay, cool. So this is not the end. You're not done with us yet. We are still sticking around for one more game coming into round 2 of the alpha bracket. So yeah, I suppose we go to a break as everything gets settled, and then we'll be back with you really soon.
Yes. Hello, folks. Welcome back to Paddling Pool 295. I am Spy, joined here by the amazing and lovely and cool and great Zari. Hello.
Thank you, Spy. Yes, welcome back, everyone. We've got a surprise second round of Alpha Bracket, so this is gonna be Symphony versus a Wavebreaker. So yeah, interested to see how this goes. Seeing a Mahi Mahi in our game too. Also, unfortunate, this is not a best of 5, so game 3 is still not confirmed. If this also doesn't go to a game 3, that is 5 back-to-back sets of no game 3. But regardless, first game of the set, Tower Control on Mako. Let's go. You said earlier that... Didn't you say about not liking Tower Control Mako?
Oh yeah, I definitely still do not like it that much. But I actually
just
like
freaking
the...
Tetris on both sides. Sorry.
Yeah, I like the concept Symphony and Wavebreaker are running. I mean, Symphony just has the Splatana Stamper, and they also have a Pro, which is not
Yes.
common at all. I mean, Forge Pro is way more common than normal Pro because it has Dart.
Yes. Also, it's just... That's definitely a decision. Also, important to know, Wavebreaker does not have one.
Wait. No, that's hypocrisy.
Yeah. Oh
We
my
cannot allow
God.
that.
Yep, but just, important to know. Already, the teams are kind of feeling each other out, trying to figure out what they, how to kind of best the other. But we're seeing already that is a wipe. Symphony just
Whoa.
got wiped. Symphony are third
They're
seed,
not.
by the way.
They're not part of Wavebreaker Symphony.
No, they are not. That is, in fact, what Wavebreaker would like them to be off the freaking playing field for as much as possible. Oh my god.
Oh my god, the Tetris went down, but they still have Cooler, so that's gonna be good for Symphony. But they still have the Bubbler on the side of Wavebreaker, so that's gonna be really, really hard. But like the players on Symphonies are dropping like flies. But now the oh,
What the frick? Wavebreaker? What?
what was that?
Aww.
Zari is just completely flabbergasted.
I don't know what to say to that. I just
Understandable, though.
I don't know. I don't understand. Okay.
Do not understand.
What the frick? Oh my god.
Huh.
Yeah, so the Gods on High have given us some extra information, which is that Wavebreaker are roughly Div 3 and Symphony. Yet again, we see Symphony a lot. Punchy's in there too. Div 1. So that is an upset for Wavebreaker to just be that dominant coming out of Game 1. It was also a Symphony pick. They picked that map mode combination. So,
Like, what the mother-loving brother? What?
Exactly, Spy. Yeah, so we're gonna be going to Mahi on Clams. This was a Wavebreaker pick. Breaker brother, what the hell just happened? Symphony, you good?
I'm still kind of out of words because, like, what?
This was very unexpected. Symphony, as Pat in the chat has said, really needs to wake up. Like, they could, after this next game, they could be out of the tournament if they don't wake the frick up. So, guys, please. Come on. Oh my god. Figure yourselves out. You've got this game to clap back, and then the next one, maybe we'll get a game 3. So, okay. Wavebreaker, let's see if you can do it again.
True, we have the same comp on the side of Symphony. Yeah. Oh yeah, both teams are the same.
Yeah, just
Or,
stick
did
with
they
it.
have a slosher? Electro?
Yep. They had a slushy last round. Yeah. So both teams
Like-
sticking with it. It's the Tetris on both sides that I'm still quite surprised by. Like normally a team hard sticks to Tetris, but it's not like a lot of teams. But both of these teams are definitely that. Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay.
Wavebreaker on the back foot there.
Yeah. Same brain cells.
Yeah, true. And they even managed to push, but I feel like, oh, never mind. Their push does continue with like one more clam. But that is it for the push. It was actually very, very short. Actually, not quite what I expected because it seemed like Symphony had a really, really big advantage. But now Wavebreaker is kind of pushing back there. They already got 2 people, and now the Reef Slider is going in like, wee, and they even got a pick.
Thank you for the sound effect. That is not ideal for Symphony. 3 of them were dead there. The basket is open. 2 clams. Yep, there's lead, and they keep putting in just a little bit more. That does look like that is the end of that push, but already Symphony are here trying to make a power clam.
Like, damn, they already got the crab tank ready there. They just kind of need to watch out if anyone wants to kind of get on behind the crab to kind of shoot them down. But it doesn't seem like it. And now they have a power clam.
They were under the basket. They had such an opportunity there. They even had a pity clam. But already we're seeing they are well pushed back. Trying to make this work, but it's not at the moment. That is 2 down for Symphony. They need to back up and be ready because Wavebreaker are going to, well, they're on their way.
Yeah. Oh my god, another 2 people down with the tri-strikes. But the Tetras on Wavebreaker are also down. They still have control over mid, but I feel like Symphony just kind of gets back to pushing into mid again. I mean, they already got 1 person there. And the Splatana Stamper is kind of trying to push in. It's being difficult for them, but they can kind of hold on to life.
It's just about. This is such a like stall delay, get back and forth between these 2 teams because with how pushed back each of them gets, they just don't seem to actually get that much from the pushes they're making. Now, given Symphony's doing well here, they're able to finally get some more space on the map and it pushed to 36. Okay.
Like,
I'll eat my
damn, what are you cooking? But only the Tetras remain.
Yep. And finally, with a map that's a bit more opened up, these 2 teams have more space to move and figure out how to get in with the pushes. Wavebreaker really need to get one, and they've set up quite well for one with 2 power clams sitting ready. But is it going to be enough? It does. Yep, it does look like it. That's a push to 24 already.
That is devastating for Symphony.
Yep.
And now the shot even still got a trade.
Yep. Oh my goodness. We're into less than a minute and a half left here. Symphony need to get moving. And they really need to get some power clams ready for a push of their own. But with already their Tetras going down, they're going to have to be careful when they're pushing.
Yeah. I mean, Symphony already had some good opportunities to push. But now it seems like it's really risky because 2 of them are down. But we see that Wavebreaker really on the front foot. They're having specials. They have a Zuka, but it's going to be hard to deploy. But the crab tank is also getting ready on Symphony. And they also have the cooler ready, but they also have the big clam. And they only have 30 seconds left.
Yep, and with the 2 of them just respawning now, they've got to
And
stay
that is
alive.
Zuka. Why?
No!
Why?
Oh my god, we wanted it too much. We wanted it too much. This is so not ideal. Symphony has next to no time left. They need to get Wavebreaker out of there. Now.
Like what?
They have a pity. They have
They have a
overtime.
pity. So maybe that push that Wavebreaker did was not ideal for them because they just gave them a power clam.
I think they already had that power clam. I think they should have
Oh,
had 2,
another pick.
but they didn't. Oh no.
They have the power clam, but it's really risky, and they're getting it in there.
No,
but
they
there's only one.
missed!
They missed. Oh, they missed.
They missed.
They-
Oh, Symphony.
What the hell?
Yup. Bruh, this is. I don't. Huh? Huh? Oh my god. Well, you know what that means? That means the Symphony
No
are out.
no game 3.
It also means no game 3. But Symphony, third seed in the tournament, are out in the second round of Alpha Bracket. Very decisively. Like, Wavebreaker, like, they took that first game. And then the second game, bit more back and forth, but pretty solidly in their hands for the most part. So, oh my god, what? My brain is not computing what the hell just happened. Like, Symphony. What's
Your brain
wrong?
is not braining.
Yeah. What is wrong? Are you guys okay? This is not the Symphony I would normally see in Paddling Pool. But yeah, Wavebreaker just came out swinging, continued, and had very solid pushes.
Yeah.
That entire game, whenever they had the opportunity, very solid. So yeah, well done to Wavebreaker, and RIP for Symphony.
All
But
right.
that's where it's Paddling Pool stopping for them today.
And paddling pool also stops for us.
Yes, haha, the segue.
Yeah.
But yes, that is
A
the
transition.
end of our block. Yes, indeed. We are going to be passing over to some different commentators shortly. But yeah, thank you for having us. Even though we only got our 2-0s, they were still some very fun games. We've seen some insane comps today. A lot more brushes than usual.
Yeah. Yeah, like Octobrush, Inkbrush Nouveau.
Yep, we're just getting a lot, to be fair, on the brush front, which you don't normally see. So love to see a little bit of change there. And yeah, I suppose, kind of shout out to you, Spy. Where can the good people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Dr. Spy LOL. I'm just kind of mostly doing Persona at the moment. I'm living in my Persona arc. But yeah,
I believe it.
I sometimes do art like every 8 months or something.
And then we're like, oh my god, Spy has come back from the video games to just give us a little bit, just a touch of art.
Yeah.
Tad.
But yeah, sorry, where can the people find you?
Well, you can find me at SPL Zarny on Twitter. I've also and I mean like barely when this was going on, but I now have a Blue Sky, which is Zarny, so that's great. And then also Twitch at Zarny, where I play lots of different things, lots of Nintendo stuff, Splatoon obviously, and FPSs. So if any of that sounds interesting, pop on by. But yeah, this has been a lot of fun. We almost never get to commentate together, Spy. So
True,
I'm so
I don't
glad.
have the time.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're currently in exam hell, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
But this is so much fun. I look forward to the next time our like schedules align and we can do this again. But yeah, with that in mind, we're gonna go to a short break as we hand over to the next commentators. Thank you everyone for having us. Enjoy the rest of the tournament.
And welcome back to Paddling Pool. Here we are ready for another one. We're now at 295 time. We are getting so close to the big 300.
Oh, isn't that exciting? I know there's going to be a golden paddling for 300, right? But what else are you going to do?
Oh, well, I mean, I'm old now. I remember 200. I was a young lad. I was new to the org when we celebrated 200. There was a lot of rejoicing. There was a lot. But let's get right in the game. We are going with, on the one side, Poulet is back. And poulet, if you would like to know, is French for chicken. On the other side, we have a turkey. It's Thanksgiving coming from Northern America to fight them.
The poultry-filled battle is going to begin in just a second. On the side of Pooley, I really like their comp with like the double midline shot. Oh, and I guess there's no battle actually. But let's talk about their comps a little bit. Both the sides actually had Stamper plus Pen plus Shot plus one other. I think they both had blasters of some kind, but I didn't get to see it fast enough, which means they're running basically the same comp if you think about it.
Yeah, not sure why we had the reset. Maybe teams were mixed up. These players like to use aliases, so I can never keep track of them. Oh, yeah, we're waiting for another player apparently. Okay. But yeah, we'll see how these players do, I guess. But yeah, as you said, they're coming with complete comps. These are top level players. They know what they're doing, and we will see very, very fast game. One thing that's interesting though is we're going to Tower Control on Museum. Museum is a map that we see a lot, but Tower Control not so much.
Tower Control Museum is like, I feel like all of the modes on Museum are really viable, but I feel like Tower Control Museum is like the least viable of those viable modes, you know? Like, you don't really see it often. Yeah. The tower path is kind of weird because it goes all the way through that left side and then gets up on your plat, and at that point it's really hard to defend, so it becomes like an uphill battle. It's kind of a little bit difficult to get knockouts, but if you are a good team that is able to occupy that plat, the knockout should really be no problem.
Yeah, it's a weird tower control because your defense can be incredibly strong if you have high vantage points to stop the tower. But the tower, when it's there, can allow you to get onto these high vantage points, and then things snowball incredibly fast. Let's see how these teams are able to do. And as you said, they have the same comp. The one difference is a range blaster instead of a regular blaster.
I mean, listen, it's the Bubble versus the Kraken. Both of them are pretty good specials for Tower. And it looks like Holy is actually going to... Oh, Splashdown. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah. Splashdown is such an unfair feeling special. Like, you just really feel like if you get caught in it, there's no counterplay. That being said, Holy's taking an early lead with that doubles. But Thanksgiving is not going to go down without a fight. You can see the way that they're trying to take picks after pick, trying to stop Holy's push, but this isn't really going to stop them, as this pencil is going to sit on this tower and pop that cooler for their teammates as Immortals actually pushes up and starts pressuring this plat.
Yeah, Poulet already getting forward. They're very coy with the tower. They're really taking their time, making sure that they don't lose players in the process. And here comes the Splashdown to counter the zip. Not good enough, but the zip gets away in time, and the tower is going to move back. Both teams still scrambling to win the fight. Ooh, very nice splat by the Stamper here.
And here comes this Zipcaster from them too, taking full control of this plat, forcing the members of Thanksgiving back. You can see all of them are just grouped in front of each other in this little pit right before that final checkpoint. So they're going to lose that second checkpoint, and the tower is on its way to the third, and really, Poly is just being dominant, special after special, pushing members of Thanksgiving back and back and back. Like, Thanksgiving literally has a single player up, and Poly is not giving up, getting the tower to 7, below 10, hold on. Oh. And as I say that, the jump in does get camped, and now Thanksgiving is going to rush mid and take all of that space that they lost earlier.
That took 2 full minutes time. And Thanksgiving now, they pretty much need to get to a KO with a tower. They have 3 minutes to do so. They're starting pretty well though. They activate all their specials. They're forcing Poulet to defend their old platform as the tower is moving back east to mid. But Right now, they're using all of their resources simply to let the tower move back. They're only getting to the checkpoint right now.
Yeah, Thanksgiving is trying really hard to hold this plat as best as possible. And Poli, even though Poli is 2 members down, like, Thanksgiving is able to, like, keep up this pressure. Unfortunately, Novocaine actually going down on this plat. Now Poli is going to be starting to push back on this plat that Thanksgiving couldn't do last time they were in this situation. But Poli is going to have to play this a little slow as they were earlier, just trying to pop cooler, just trying to sustain their teammates so that Thanksgiving can get more space than they have.
And here comes the Kraken getting one splat and probably securing that third and final checkpoint for Thanksgiving. Pule throwing their bodies at the tower, trying to stop it, and it's working! In the nick of time, they're able to deny that checkpoint, and denying that checkpoint right here, right now, is huge for Pule. They keep the advantage with 1.5 minutes left. All they need to do now is paint around, make sure that Thanksgiving cannot get back to the tower.
And they're going to try their best with this, right? Like, oh, as I say that, actually, members of Poli are being forced out of the action by Thanksgiving, just pushing forward, trying to take as much space as they can. With this cooler now, they're going to be trying to pressure Plat as much as possible. They're going to be popping this Zipcaster to try and get picks on this pencil. And look at how Thanksgiving is just effortlessly taking down members of Poli one after another as they try to drop into mid. But the real question is are they going to be able to hold onto this Plat, to grab it and to hold onto it? Because obviously they can get onto it. I mean, they've gotten onto it now, but Poli is doing a good job of holding it, forcing members of Thanksgiving off that tower with that Zipcaster. What an excellent usage of that weapon, that special.
Yeah, Pule right now very much delaying things on. Ooh, very nice double with the blaster. That okay, that was a weird use of a tacticular. It's going to come a bit late, I guess, and I don't think anybody from Thanksgiving will be able to take it. Thanksgiving, they have 20 seconds to get back on the tower now, and all Pule needs to do is throw a few bombs at it.
Right, Poli did an excellent job of just throwing their bodies at the tower, stopping Thanksgiving from breaking that third checkpoint. Because a checkpoint between you and tower knocking out is huge as we go into the final 5 seconds of this game. Poli goes 2 down. They have a splashdown online though, and now Thanksgiving is going to be trying to get this tower. Look how Poli literally pops the splashdown excellently, kills 2, and then grabs that tower like nobody's business.
A GG splashdown to end it. Pule keeping their lead, and the word is keeping, because it feels like both of these teams were incredibly good and incredibly strong when they attacked, but struggling to defend.
I think part of what defines this current meta is really aggression, right? Like you could see how quickly Poli pushed forward with that cooler, getting those doubles, getting like just full control of the plot immediately. Thanksgiving could not fight against the aggression. But on the other hand, Poli, when they lost their plat, it was almost completely over, literally just having to feed one after another for that tower. Yeah. Like it was very evenly matched, but also, interestingly enough, the defenses were really not that strong.
Yeah, both teams had similar comps and had a comp that was designed to simply get in, poke in, go through the opponent's defense, and it's so hard to defend against that. So we really saw a huge back and forth. In the end, Pule's huge first push allowed them to simply stay in front to keep their lead for the rest of the game. They are 1-0, but time. We have a best of 5 on our hands, so we'll see more games very soon, starting with Rainmaker on Scorch Gorge.
Rainmaker Scorch is definitely one of the maps of all time. Released with the game, has gone through quite a few changes, like that didn't really amount to changing anything strong about the map. The reason why this map is played so much is because despite being a Rainmaker map, it's really hard to knock out. Like most Rainmaker maps, you don't really bring them into comp because, oh, you get wiped once, it's over. Oh, you get wiped twice, it's over. But on Scorch, you have to get wiped 3 times, once for the elbow, once for your court, and once for that final like ramp up to that Rainmaker pedestal. Ooh. So this is going to be an uphill battle. Actually, I'm seeing a decav and a stamper instead of that Sea Blast. So that's an interesting mix-up, Pat.
Yeah, double sword for Pule's back. On the side of Thanksgiving, no change in their comp. They know what they want to do. They have their weapons set. I guess we'll see how the switch up from Poulet will happen. I mean, these big bubblers on the checkpoint can allow you to get the checkpoint very fast. Oh, well, never mind. Thanksgiving opening incredibly strong, getting 3 players down, looking to get the pencil as well. And they are already getting the first checkpoint.
Wow, looks like Poulet swapping might not have been the best idea for them. Just look how quickly that checkpoint falls. And despite going a few members down, Thanksgiving is still able to hold control of this elbow. So when their teammates get back, they're now able to hold most of mid.
Hey, it's just the start of the game. It's still very early in the game, and I think we can expect Poulet to get the checkpoint themselves very fast, especially since they got 2 splats, including the pencil right now. They are running towards it. The Kraken is going to slow things down, stop that push right there. Has the Kraken is also getting the repop. Very nice control by Thanksgiving, stopping that push in its tracks.
Super clean. Oh, and here comes the Zuka actually pressuring members of Thanksgiving back. Poli is going to be trying their best to hold this elbow, but look, they've gone 3 down. It's just a shot, and now Thanksgiving is in control of the field, trying to find that shot and rush through with this Rainmaker.
Yeah, and so far Thanksgiving has held good control over the pace of this game. Poulet struggling to get in. Very nice pop of the Rainmaker, allowing them to get a tactical ready. Here comes the Zipcaster and chew down onto Poulet. I guess Thanksgiving, thanks to the splat, keep getting more control over the game.
Right, Thanksgiving actually has this Kraken and a Zuka ready, and Poli is going to fire their own Zuka, trying to stop them from getting off this checkpoint. But here comes the members of Thanksgiving, inevitable as they are aggressive, just running forward. Literally, this Kraken now comes out to take care of a nuisance behind them, swapping to actually go forward with the rest of their team. This is good. They get lead. They push their lead actually even further, down to 35, which is pretty significant actually, because this is one of those barriers I was talking about at the beginning of the game, Pat, where you have to get a proper wipe or control of this area to be able to push further forward. Thanksgiving now has given up on this push, but they aren't going to be letting go of mid as easily.
Yeah, we're halfway through the game time, and Poulet hasn't gotten the checkpoint yet. Meanwhile, Thanksgiving, as you said, they've gotten a very nice push already. Now, Poulet are preparing themselves, are getting their specials in, and with the tactical are running towards that checkpoint. Now, here comes the Bubbler, and with no specials to counter it, that's going to be a checkpoint for Poulet. If they're able to get that repop thanks to the Bubbler, they should maybe get more of this push.
Not if Novocaine has anything to say about it, actually. Rushing forward, going down. Hold on, Thanksgiving just went 3 members down. The Zoom comes out. Unfortunately, goes down 5 points from that lead. Immortal is still going to be pressuring as the last member alive, but goes down on that recall. Now it's back in Thanksgiving's control. This is such a back and forth game, Pat. I don't even know which team to root for at this point.
Yeah, we are 5 points apart in favor of Thanksgiving right now. It's far from over. The Stamper getting in there, able to get a splat. We are 2 versus 2 right now. The team that will be able to get control of this Rainmaker right here should get the next push, and it looks like Poulet is back. We're experiencing a bit of NAEU lag right now, but it doesn't matter. The splats are coming left and right, and both teams are still fighting for it.
Back and forth these two teams go. Thanksgiving does in fact have this Kraken line player advantage here. They have Zipcaster, which is going to enable them to push forward or be able to stall out until Paulet is forced to make a move. That being said, they're trying to get these picks, like 2 go down on the side of Paulet now. Zuka is out on the side of Thanksgiving, and look at how far they're being pushed back, almost getting picked up by that. Zuka pushes that lead by 2 more points. This pencil is fighting for their life here.
And that's more points for Thanksgiving right now, pushing into 17. Poulet's back, struggling to take back control of their own spawn, of their own side of the map. The pencil is going to get the snipes. And right now it looks like there will be time for Poulet's back to get one final push with a tactical. They need to make everything work though. Any mistake will be their last in this game.
Every second counts here on the side of Polay. They have 2 specials online. They have gotten a pick on the stamp, but down one of their members goes, which is going to be huge for them. They're trying to play it slow, but overtime is going to be slowly ticking out for them.
Yep. Yeah, right now. And well, the overtime is over. That's a Zuka to the face. Thanksgiving getting the comeback, getting the 1-1, not letting Poulet do much in this game. I mean, Poulet managed to get the checkpoint, but that's all they did.
Thanksgiving had an extremely dominant first push that propelled them all the way down to 35. Like, despite Polay's best efforts, they really just popped that checkpoint and got it just barely out of reach and just could not reach that area again.
Yeah, and that's what we've seen both of these games. One team gets the early lead and then plays off that lead, forces the other team to play catch up, and simply wins off of that. And we'll see if who is going to get the early lead in the next game, who will have to play catch up if that catch up is doable. This time it will be in Clan Blitz, where I guess scoring works very differently.
Oh, I agree 100%. I do want to mention for that previous game that the team that loses focused first always loses. The team that's panicking always loses. And I think that might be part of both of these team strategy, just to get that early, almost insurmountable feeling lead, and then forcing the other team to really play super aggressively, just, oh, I need to do this, I just need to get that lead. And suddenly their concentration has lapsed, and now the other team could just take full advantage of that, lack of coordination, lack of, focus on the game. And really, that's a really good game-winning strategy.
Yeah, that's the spirit of the game. It's that one big winning push, and you can't lose your coordination, you can't lose your position when the opponent has the momentum. You need to stay strong and stay as a team if you want to stop things. Right now we are 1-1. Let's see what these teams do on Clan Blitz here on Barnacle. And Yeti is bringing a junior. We have a double bubbler now for Poulet. He's back. Meanwhile, on the side of Thanksgiving, it is still the same comp.
Well, if it's not broke, don't fix it on the side of Thanksgiving. But on Polay, I think Double Bubble is really interesting because I find Double Bubble with Cooler to be very unstable feeling. Like, everything could go wrong if you just don't play it correctly. That being said, this bubble does come out at a great time, holding a lot of that middle area for Polay. Unfortunately, though, the Stamper does go down, and suddenly Thanksgiving has a huge lead with these specials coming out, forcing members of Polay off of their own plats. 2 down on the side of Polay, and Thanksgiving is just advancing and advancing.
Yeah, it is not stopping. And right now, Thanksgiving, they have the Super Clan, they have a lot of position, they're waiting for an extra special before they push in. I guess the Kraken is now ready, activated, getting one splat right now. The rest of the team is still waiting for a bit more. It's not working yet. Both teams are at a standstill right now. The one thing we didn't see in the previous games, and time, I think that's a push.
I think that they're breaking this basket. I think that they might be getting a few more clams. You can see they have the clams available to break 60 here. They have specials coming out. They have Cooler. Like, there's really no reason not to push this further. But look at the patience that Thanksgiving is showing, just allowing themselves the space to be able to hold the positions that they currently have. Literally, Polay has just gone 2 players down and is being forced a little bit back, as now JXD is going to be pushed off of that plat. And suddenly, Thanksgiving is in a prime spot to break open the basket again once they get a power.
Yep, and it's been defense for Poulet's back so far. They're still stuck in their spawn, trying to get out, not able to collect clams or get paint on the ground. Meanwhile, Thanksgiving are dancing around, forcing both of the big bubbler to be deployed as Poulet's back. I mean, when you have bubbler, you're struggling to get the pushes. You're missing that one triple ink strike that allows you to get in.
Triple ink strike, Kraken, any kind of aggressive special, and you can see they're lacking it. Like, Zipcaster is definitely a special that is a distraction special. It allows your teammates to get in, and unfortunately, if you can't get in and stay in, it's not really, going to work out for them.
And that's 2 down on play is back again. Thanksgiving maintaining full control of this map, staying around there and reopening the basket. 50 points is the mark and more clams are coming in. Pule is back, struggling to push things away, but with 2 players down, it looks like Pule is back are finally able to get back onto mid time.
Now, this is going to be Pule's chance to push back. Like, you could see how much of mid is now quickly being reclaimed. This Bubble and Zipcaster are online. The question is, though, are they going to be able to get close enough to basket for that to even matter? The cooler comes out, and so does this Zipcaster. The Bubble is now nearing this basket. They're getting ready for that push. They have those power clams. They have the Bubble. In goes the first one. In goes the second. In goes the third. They just need a few more clams. 1, 2, and that's literally the lead now, right below 30, Pat.
That one big push is all you need. Long control doesn't matter as long as you're able to get the clams in the basket, and Pule is back reminding us how it works in Clam Blitz. You want to get them all in the basket. As I say that, Thanksgiving, they're back to what they've been doing the whole game. They're back to being next to the basket with a super clam ready to attack.
The difference now, though, is that Pole is now feeling a lot safer. They're not feeling that need to really push out of their spawn, to need to get everything done. Like, despite the Kraken coming out and despite their Stamper going down, Thanksgiving is not able to approach this basket. Like, literally, they just need to play defense now, and defense is what Bubble is best at.
Yeah. They've learned now. They know what to do. 30 seconds left for Thanksgiving to find a push in. They have 2 specials at the ready, and they activate the Zipcaster. They activate Bazooka. 2 players down. They are in. They have enough clams to get the lead right now. They get it, and with 20 seconds left, Thanksgiving is now in the lead, forcing Pule to muster more defense, more pushing. The lead, I mean, the push still seems over, but Pule needs to get in, and they need to do it now. There's less than 10 seconds in this game time.
They do have 3 specials online. 2 of those are bubbles, and one of them is a Zipcaster. They're going to need to push through with both of those power clams. Here comes Y with that bubbler, just trying to make any space happen. Unfortunately, gets zoned out by the shot, and suddenly things are not looking good for Pole. Literally less than, and as I say that, actually, they get wiped out, and that is going to be game 3 for Thanksgiving.
A very close game 3. I mean, Pule, they had the biggest push of the game, but they only had 1. In the end, it was the map control. It was the cumulated points made by Thanksgiving that allowed them to stay on top in this game, despite that monster push that Pule got.
Oh yeah, that was really shocking, just being able to pop those bubbles in such a good spot, like especially after being constantly on the back foot from Thanksgiving. But you could see, right, Thanksgiving was dominant for almost all of that, like that first part of the game. Literally just score after score off of zoning off Pole's basket, like literally just backing off of like things that could have been easy like points just to make sure that they could keep control of the area. But then suddenly when they go 2-3 players down, it's over for them, and suddenly Pole has a chance to get back into mid, and just look at how that chance goes. Literally 3 power clams and a little bit more in was all it took for them to get that monster lead. And then Thanksgiving were right back at them, literally just shoving clams in that basket. The second Pole gave them an inch, they took a mile.
Yeah, but one thing to note, Time, is that Pule, his back, had very much that comp designed to have that one big push, to be able to deploy 2 bubblers under the basket and get as many clams as they could, as fast as they could in there. Now we're going to splat zones, or 4th mode, and the mode that rewards map control the most, that rewards staying in control of the game for the longest time. That's what we've seen Thanksgiving do for this whole game. I feel like if Pule's back doesn't change, the way they play doesn't change maybe their comp, they're in for a very, very rough game number 4.
I definitely don't think that they're going to be bringing that double bubble comp, especially with a map that's just so good to play around ledges, especially with that splashdown potential. I can see them definitely bringing back that Sea Blast that really helped them win that first game.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what they do. Right now, we're on match point for Thanksgiving. And remember, we had groups this week, which means this is a single elimination tournament. If Poulet's Back loses this game, they are out of here. And Yeti is bringing a tent attack. They will have the strikes that allows them to get in, to get forward. And I think like that's a very, very good choice by them.
Definitely, and I love that they've also brought back their bubble, though they are going members down one after another. Those strikes are online, but they are going to have to wait to use it because that's kind of special that allows your teammates to get in is kind of useless if there's just nobody to go in off of them. No fights to be had, and like look at actually how aggressive Thanksgiving is, literally like pushing up Pole's plat. Pole is able to get rid of them now and is starting to take names, take fights, like taking members of Thanksgiving off of that zone just for a moment so they could get those strikes out. Unfortunately, though, this doesn't really work out for them, and now Pole is just being pressured by this stamp right here.
Yeah, but Poulet is able to apply penalty onto the zone, take some control, and take a few more splats. But as you said again, they lose a few players in the process. Poulet struggling to really establish control still. The strikes could help with that. But all of Thanksgiving is already back in action, ready to fight for it.
Thanksgiving is such good fighters. Like, they are so aggressive and they want to take as much space as possible without focusing. You know, if they have to back out, they're back in just a second with the most aggressive push you've ever seen. But Pole really enjoys building up power and coming with it through it with like one big push, and unfortunately this is just not really working out for them. Well, as I say that, they actually get this zone, but at what cost? Because they're still struggling to control most of this middle area. Literally, you can see Thanksgiving still has control of their sorry, their stack, and they still have control of their snipe. Like, it's not like they're out of mid just yet like Pole was earlier.
Yeah, but Poulet still has control over the zone time, and right now the clock is ticking in their favor. As I say that, Thanksgiving are activating the Kraken, and that Kraken has been a pain for all of Poulet this whole tournament. This whole set. Right now, Thanksgiving finally able to apply penalty, keeping their lead and forcing Poulet back into their spawn.
Thanksgiving is now in that dominant spot that they've been in for a lot of this game here, like forcing Poulet to stop and build those specials, to rush in aggressively whenever they just get a spare moment, which is not something that I feel like they enjoy playing like that as much, especially, actually, as I say that, starting to get control of that right stack, unfortunately, actually are able to, at the cost of two of their members' lives. So now Pole is going to be fighting an uphill battle while they wait for their teammates to respawn.
Yeah, and right now, 2 minutes left in the game. Poulet are about to get the lead, and with 2 players down onto Thanksgiving, they look pretty strong. We finally have a working comeback in this game. Thanksgiving is their turn to find a way in to play forward.
Yeah, and here comes this Kraken. As you said, a huge problem for them. But now Thanksgiving is actually on the back foot. They have to make sure everything happens within the next 5 seconds. This zone is getting covered. This T-Tech is fighting for their life on this zone, trying to paint as much as they can, and they do succeed, bringing game 4 to Pole, and that is a game 5 for semis here.
Yeah, I mean, both of these teams are so good and very well evenly matched. We've seen a lot of great games between these two teams that I can't wait to see more. Poulet's Back and Thanksgiving. Such back and forth coming after each other, and it had to come to a game 5, and that means we are getting back to tower control.
I mean, listen, I'm a big fan of tower control, but I feel like it's definitely the worst of the 4 main modes, if you know what I'm saying. Like, even Rainmaker, it feels like, has a lot more merits than tower control, especially with how snowballing it can be. I mean, this might be a hot take, right? But I think Rainmaker is only disrespected so much as a mode because the map design sucks, and not because it's a bad mode in and of itself. That being said, I do... That being said, I do think Inkblot Tower is definitely the map of tower control that tests all of your fundamentals the best and allows for the most even gameplay. So I think this is actually a really great Game 5 map.
This is the tower control map where you can't surprise your opponent, because everybody at that level have absolutely seen it all on tower control Inkblot. They've been here for, I mean, we've seen 2 games use this as one of the most popular tower control maps. And given what these teams are bringing, given the Splatala Stampers that are zipcasting around, this is going to be a very highly dynamic game. And I can't wait to see it, because, again, both teams are going to rush for that upper platform where they can take control, where they can guarantee that second checkpoint and then some more points. And honestly, both of these teams have the same strategy, both of these teams have the same speed. It's just a matter of who is able to rush the other team first.
I do think that with this very strong Zipcasters from Poles, they might be able to take early control of bats and break that first checkpoint. And maybe even get that second one too, depending on how much strength they have behind it. It just really depends if they have that same Zipcaster, that same, you know, not Zipcaster, strikes or anything aggressive that can back that up. Actually, here comes the Sea Blast again. Looks like they actually have a strategy for tower, huh?
Yeah, I mean, Sea Blaster worked very well as a GG special in the game number 1 of this set. Might as well bringing back. It worked. It worked well. Yeti is back to the splatter shot. To have these Zukas, I mean, Zuka is always going to be a very good special to have. And I know that Thanksgiving are bringing a splash. That splash is already down. That's going to allow Poulet to get the tower forward and try to get to the first checkpoint already.
This Range Blaster, though, is providing a nightmare for Pole, and as we say that, actually gets picked beautifully. Down goes the splash as well. Looks like here comes this Zipcaster on Thanksgiving. Gets picked off so easily, literally taking full control of this bottom left area. Now zuking on that Bats. Now here comes this shot just running in, like trying to get an easy pick on this Pencil as their teammates struggle to support them. Like, this looks like it's going to be getting to, if not past checkpoint 2.
Yeah, I mean, checkpoint 1's a formality, but getting it in the first minute of the game is very, very nice for Poulet's back. Thanksgiving, now they need to answer, and Poulet just gave them control over whole of mid. Thanksgiving are in a very nice position to prepare. Oh, they lose 2 players! A huge Zuka right there by Poulet's back, and it's not stopping Poulet's back. Bringing in the strengths, are bringing in the power, and are pushing again.
And here they come. Like, look how yellow their court and their Bats are, with especially this shot just painting over it. It's going to be really hard for Thanksgiving to try and hold it. Like, even now, despite going down, like this blaster going down, it's going to be really hard. Like, that second checkpoint literally broke apart as if it was nothing. And now Pole approaches this third checkpoint with that, like, nobody's business. Unfortunately, it doesn't get very far, but this is huge for them. 20 is a huge push for Inkblot. Like, once you get past that last checkpoint, it's basically GG, and that's the only thing Thanksgiving needs to prevent here.
It's, again, we start the game with a huge push, giving one team a huge option on victory. Thanksgiving, though, they've shown that they can come back. They've shown that they can be on par with Poulet, and they are coming in right now, forcing Poulet to dance in their own spawn. It's not going to work, but the Pencil is still standing, and that's 3 players down onto Thanksgiving. Poulet are very happy on this map.
Yes, it looks like actually they really have that nice, like, control, especially like with the threat of that Sea Blast. Like, you don't have to be that far away from tower to get full value. But Thanksgiving's Crab is actually going to be huge because Crab is really strong on this map. You have a lot of good vantage points, a lot of like hit spaces that you can easily just lob shot at them. That being said, Pole is going to be taking back this court. Like, they've literally been living here since it was built, Pat. It's going to be really hard for Thanksgiving to even remove them, just infesting it.
Yeah, we're in a 2v2 right now. Poulet are still very strong in their push. Bazooka is activated, but everybody is hidden right now. It's not going to find much. Poulet's back is forced to move back, but I mean, they're fine moving back as long as they keep their huge lead. And that's Patana Stamper still dancing around the tower, delaying the tower from coming back into mid and allowing the rest of Poulet to simply respawn and leave to wait a little more.
Yes, both of these teams are single member down, but Thanksgiving has the special advantage. Here comes the Crab. The Zipcaster is ready, and the Kraken is going to be ready once they start their push. Poulet now wants to stop that Kraken, gets the pick. Hold on, gets the pick on the Stamper too. Looks like their specials have been neutralized on the side of Thanksgiving. For the most part, it's going to be pretty easy for Poulet to start pushing forward. Here comes this Kraken though on the side of Thanksgiving. It's going to be a little rough as Poulet goes 2 down, and suddenly the entire field has shifted in Thanksgiving's favor. It's just this pencil trying to hold back Thanksgiving's onslaught on their court.
Hey, one big push is all you need, and right now Thanksgiving needs that big push more than ever. It is the final 20 seconds of the game, and there's 3 players down. It's just the Crab Tank left to defend the tower right there. They need to stay here. And oh wait, there's the Splats. It's just the pencil. It's just the pencil for Poulet's back. The push is going on.
There's 7 seconds left in this game. Poulet is not up the heat as this blaster trades out this tower. Unfortunately, Thanksgiving wipes out, and that is going to be 3-2 for Thanksgiving in Alpha Finals. Sorry, quarters. Oh my god. Every time I move the stakes up. That was an intense game 5, right? Like for a second there, I really thought that Thanksgiving had that in the bag, and suddenly Poulet, just full of surprises, brings the foul, you know?
Hey, it felt like a semi-final. It was scene number 2 versus scene number 4. It was so fast. It was so intense. And Poulet back on top right there is going to move on to semi-finals where they will fight scene number 1, which it is already waiting for them. And I guess we'll take a short break as we will watch the other semi-finals, which will be Cherry Wave versus J-Blast is the Future.
Welcome back to Paddling Pool 295. We're going to be taking a look at our semis match this time, which is going to be Cherry Wave versus J Blast is the Future. We just saw Museum Tower, but now we're going to be taking a look at Museum Clams. Do you have any thoughts on this map, Pat?
This is the museum that I know much better. This is the kind of museum that I'd expect. It's become a classic of Clan Blitz, honestly, to go onto Museum de Alfonsino to fight it out. And it's very much the kind of Clan Blitz map where one team goes forward and gets to camp under the opponent's platform, gets to force the other team to resist the pressure, to defend for a long time. Even if you don't get a push, you can simply stay under that platform and maintain that pressure for a long time. Whichever team is able to break that pressure, is able to break away from the opponent's attack, will be the team that takes more control, will be the team that takes charge of the game.
Yeah, I mean, for Museum Clams, it's like, I feel like the number one spot to always watch out for is definitely that block. Like, as you get better and better, you're going to start just taking advantage of that block just to not only distract people who are underneath the basket into looking at you, but also to allow your teammates to, get in through the much more reliable plat into ramp, as well as that, like, especially, like, camping out with things like blasters. My brain's on blasters since we just saw a bunch of them last set, but like especially with things like blasters or stampers or anything really that can like just distract and take attention is really going to help people get onto that plat. But the question is, how are you going to fight through mid?
Yes, well, we're about to find out. I know your wish is granted. We see a blaster coming on the side of J Blast is the Future. I mean, if your name is J Blast, you might as well run Blaster.
Hey, I mean, it was prophecy, when that person's parents named them, they were like, that's it, yeah, your destiny has been sealed. Unfortunately, though, J Blast does go down on that left side, trying to get the jump surprised flank on Cherry Wave, and now Cherry Wave is starting to control a lot of mid. Members of J Blast are actually kind of trapped on their plat right now, but not for long as Cherry Wave goes 2 down.
Yeah, lots of fights, lots of players falling down left and right, but it looks like J Blast has still a lot of control over mid, and it's Cherry Wave stuck onto their platform right now, despite, J Blast having 2 players down. It's going to allow Cherry Wave to be the ones pushing, getting a lot of control right now, and losing their players right away. We have such back and forth across the map time.
The better set of players are, the more likely the maps are going to swing widely in favor of one or another, just taking really good advantage of any space that the other team gives them. Like, that's really what makes players strong these days. You can see J Blast is now starting to, J Blast is trying to get onto this plat, pops the splashdown, unfortunately goes down, but takes a member of Cherry Wave with them, and suddenly J Blast has held control of the plat for just a little bit, but not long enough, as now Cherry Wave is going to be holding a lot of mid here.
Yeah, and we're still 0-0 in terms of points by these teams. Both teams are able to fight well, are able, as you said, to paint forward and get themselves in incredibly fast. It's just a matter of bringing the clams as well, with your 2 players down, 3 players down onto Cherry Wave. J Blast not getting the jump, but at least getting their way on to the basket, opening it and opening the score.
Now you see the actual J Blast here is picking 2 members of Cherry Wave one after another, putting these clams into this basket, allowing for their teammates to extend that push a little bit. The problem is nobody's here is going to get more clams, and the basket is going to close at 53 points down with half the game left.
Yep, and that's a very nice push right there by J Blast. We're halfway through the game, and the pressure is maintained. Control of the basket area is still for J Blast is the Future with another Super Clam. That's going to be a reopening of the basket, and with a big bubbler, we can expect more points time.
An excellent usage of that big bubbler. Unfortunately, doesn't allow them to get that second clam jumped in. But 53 with 13 points is actually huge.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to allow J-Blast to control the pace of the game from here on out. Like, Cherry Wave is always going to be struggling to try and push that lead away from J-Blast, to try and take control of more of that mid. And as I say, the 3 members of J-Blast go down. They're starting to rush through this plat with this bubble. It's just literally the blaster here, I believe, just stopping them. Bubble comes out. Clam gets scored. Now all Cherry Wave needs to do is make sure that they can maintain their push longer and better than J-Blast.
Yeah, well, J-Blast are already back in position, but all of Cherry Wave are in there trying to maintain the presence. Cherry Wave didn't get that many points off of that push, but they're still in control of mid, in control of a lot of the map right now. J-Blast are trying to paint their way back in, but they just lost their blaster. And we see very much trades left and right. NML has to move back, respect the power of the Cherry Wave, as both teams are still fighting for control. And as I say that, 3 down onto Cherry Wave. It looks like J-Blast in this last minute are back in control of mid.
Bubble comes out on the side of J-Blast. Like, it's going excellently for them as they throw this clam onto the plat. Splashdown comes out, picks off that decaf. Unfortunately, that clam is going to die here. But they aren't going to be fairly evenly matched, as now Cherry Wave has properly removed J-Blast from their plat, as long as they can get that pick, and luckily they do. And now here comes Cherry Wave storming into mid with the cooler.
Yep, and we're back to preparing an attack. Cherry Wave right now, they have the numbers, they have a lot of clams, and they have a big bubbler not that far from the basket, but not completely under it. The strikes are going to allow them to get in, and with another bubbler, they get the lead time!
That was insane. Literally the only thing stopping them from getting even more points was J-Blast's perfect splashdown as that bubbler disappeared. Now, J-Blast has multiple power clams nearing in on this basket. Jazzcav here with this decapitator almost going down, gets the score. All they need to do is bring in 2 more clams or this power clam. They have a perfect jump. They're going for it. Misses the jump. They're going in again. 2 clams go in, and suddenly J-Blast wins in overtime.
And that's where that second push, that second break of the basket that J-Blast had, that didn't extend their score, but allowed them to get rid of most of their penalty. That's really the reason why they were able to get that push so fast and to get the lead back before even getting that other super clam in. But with that small penalty that they had, J-Blast knew that Cherry Wave needed to defend on all fronts to not let a single clam come near to the basket, and right there, J-Blast is the future, able to get game number 1.
A very, very intense game 1. I genuinely wasn't expecting J-Blast to come back from that, like, that deficit, especially, like, right at the end of the game. The clam was, like, barely scored even right at the end of that overtime, and suddenly everything changed as members of J-Blast started picking off Cherry Wave one after another. But I digress. We're going on to game 2, which is going to be on Zone's Barnacle. Pat, what do we feel about this map?
It's also a classic map. I've heard people say that they hate this map. I've heard people say that they love this map. I love this map. It's a rough map because if you are locked away from zone, getting back takes a lot of time, takes a lot of effort, but it's also a very fair map. It's a map where having the right strategy is well rewarded, I feel like. And yes, you can keep control of the zone for a very, very long time, but whether you get to have that control in the first place, I feel is very fair and is decided by the players and their skill.
I agree. I think a lot of this game, it's kind of like mini Hagglefish, as I see Hagglefish coming up right after this. I can't help but compare them. It's basically Hagglefish if it was like a little more cramped and had more of an opportunity to get locked out. Like it's much easier to get into this top left, top right area once you're in full control of the zone. And I can see really one of these teams just getting a triple and immediately rushing there and suddenly locking out the game. And at that point, you're going to have to expend resource to either get them out of that top right area or get your plat back and try to actually mount a push on that zone. So it's going to be a little rough for whichever team goes down first. But the question is, who is going to go down first?
Yeah, well, we're about to find out. Both of these teams are back at it. I mean, we see a little adjustments in terms of composition, but overall, it's the same strategies of having good paint, of having good control, and having a lot of bubblers on the side of Cherry Wave.
I'm a big fan of the bubblers. I think 2 of them is a lot of bubblers, though. I feel like they saw what happened last game and they were like, wait, these guys can't deal with my bubbler. Let's add a bunch more. And suddenly, J-Blast all the way back into spawn. Literally, Cherry Wave is now going to be holding a ton of this space here as Xenox gets a crazy bubble right at this choke point.
Yeah, that bubble is going to instantly trigger the triple ink strike. That strikes is not going to find much though. Cherry Wave with very good control right there, forcing J-Blast to really get in with the main weapons, with the fights. And I mean, J-Blast are happy to oblige right there, are taking control and are finally pushing Cherry Wave back in their side of the map.
Nah, and suddenly, like, it's all in J-Blast's favor. These strikes come out on this choke, on this court, literally forcing members back. But Cherry Wave, Xenox getting a crazy pick on this shot as suddenly J-Blast might not be in as good of a position as they thought. 2 bubblers on the side of Cherry Wave, perfect to get them back into the scene as long as they can get them placed properly. Yeah. Coming out, here comes the first one right in front of their plat, allowing their members to start striking this zone. J-Blast's gonna splash down in that bubble, not going to get a lot of value from this. The second bubble on this plat, and suddenly this excellent bubble play allows Cherry Wave to get back into the zone and hold the space that they needed to.
Hey, you get a bubbler next to the zone, you get the zone, and right now Cherry Wave are getting more than the zone. They're getting control, and Petty with the slusher is dancing around, dodging all the bombs right there. J-Blast are trying to get back in there, but both teams still fighting for me right now. It's trade after trade.
Trade after trade after trade after trade. Literally, the zone is flipping back and forth like TV static. Like, just running forward. You're not sure which side's going to be winning. And suddenly, Cherry Blast is on the back foot despite such a dominant performance. And J-Blast is rushing that pencil like their life depends on it. Xenox and HTTP literally just unable to defend their area, and suddenly they've lost their plat. They've lost so much ground. The strikes are available for J-Blast now. They're going to probably wait until one of those dastardly bubbles come out so they can stop members of Cherry Wave from getting in zone, but suddenly their view is obscured. The strikes are going to come out a little bit late. Cherry Wave has their plat back. Here comes those strikes. That's 2 sets of strikes at the same time. J-Blast is going to maintain control of the zone, and suddenly things aren't looking that good for Cherry Wave.
Cherry Wave struggling right now to paint that zone. They're able to deny the KO, but J-Blast is still in position and getting more and more splats right there. It's still control for J-Blast. The jumps are getting cold, and J-Blast is the future right now with good control over the zone. A minute and a half left in this game, and Cherry Wave needs a big comeback.
And it's going to be huge, actually. As you can see, the bubble and the strikes are now coming up. J-Blast, though, has an amazing shark, being able to see most of this plat. Going to try and get Xenox before that bubble goes out. Unfortunately, is unable to. Has to retreat all the way. Doesn't even have a special, but does that matter as they get a pick, get their special, and suddenly they're 2 up over Cherry Wave. All they really need to do is now just push that pen out of zone, and here comes that splashdown and those strikes, effortlessly completing that job pad.
It's rough right now for Cherry Wave. They have 1 minute left, and with 3 players down, this could be the opportunity to take control, but they need to take full control. They need to completely secure the zone, and that's exactly what they're doing. J-Blast is coming in too fast. They're not coordinated. They lost 2 players right there, and now they need a big push to end this game.
The strikes are going to be coming out after a push that was so fast, you'll blink and you miss it, and suddenly Cherry Blast is a little bit on the back foot, but gets a key pick on the Slosher. That's huge because they're not going to be having those strikes. Gets picked inside of the bubbles and knocks, but suddenly 15, 13, they get the lead swap as there's 2 bubbles on zone. J Blast can't even pump that splashdown that could have saved the game for them, and suddenly Cherry Wave takes game 2.
I feel like Cherry Wave struggled most of that game because playing double bubbler against a double tripling strike is not the best move. But in that last push, Cherry Wave waited for the strikes to come in from J-Blast. And J-Blast, they wanted to use the strikes right away. They wanted to push right away, even though they had time. And that was the mistake that Cherry Wave was waiting for. Cherry Wave, they dodged the strikes, and then they activate their bubbler. They locked down the zone, and they defended it for the rest of the game, getting the KO. We are now 1-1 time, with another very close set, very evenly matched teams on our hands.
Okay, not gonna be weird about this. I'm kind of a nerd about this game, okay? Like, this is why I commentate.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, maybe a little bit. But, oh my god, the way Cherry Wave was able to effortlessly, like, say, hey, the shot just popped strikes, where's the Slosher? I see they have strikes. They pick the Slosher immediately before they're able to get those strikes out. They get those bubbles on zone, and then they see J-Blast running in with those, that triple splashdown, and suddenly, boom, gone. Like, gone. And that was the game-winning play, really. Just taking care of those 2 players with their specials in quick succession, literally just, like, throttling, like, J-Blast's push, and suddenly Cherry Wave is in a really good spot, especially for this next game. But I do want to say it's tower control and it's on Hagglefish, which means Blaster is going to be a little bit stronger for J-Blast. So Cherry Wave, I don't know if that bubble strat is going to work here.
Bubbler is very nice for tower control. So, and it kind of worked in the end, as long as you said, Cherry Wave were able to dodge the strikes, to punish the strikes, to punish the splashdown. Cherry Wave needed things to set themselves to set itself up right, so that they could have that one big control that they needed. We'll see if they're able to maintain that. And yeah, as you said, maybe drop one of the bubbles and get a blaster of their own.
Well, anything that can really do good chip damage on that tower, I wouldn't say no to, something like a Slosher. Well, they do already have a Slosher, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like that good, reliable chip damage. I know Haggle is especially good for something like a Roller as well, but I think Roller is one of the harder weapons to use, so. Hold on, is that a Rapid Blaster versus that double bubble once again? Hold on. Rapid Blaster with double strikes, on the side of J-Blast is the future. Truly, like, carving out new meta comps as we speak, actually, versus Cherry Wave using an old reliable, actually, that I've seen a lot of people talking about with this double bubble, right? Already, they actually have a bubble at the ready, and down goes this Rapid Blaster, just going down for, being punished, just trying to build their strikes.
Yep, and right now both teams are fighting for the tower. It looks like Cherry Wave is going to get pretty nice control right away and are pushing that tower forward. But J-Blast, they have a double tripling strike. They can stop things very fast. Here comes an ink strike forcing the pencil off of the tower. And very nice jump away.
Very clean jump, especially with J-Blast coming after them. Fortunately, though, they are going to get away, going to hold that cooler. Suddenly now, this bubble comes out on both sides, but the bubble gets struck, and suddenly that bubble is no longer safe anymore. On goes that tower, marching towards that second check. That's the first checkpoint. Quite difficult to actually get to and hold, and unfortunately for J-Blast, Cherry Wave gets it without a problem.
Yep, it looks like Cherry Wave are holding their ground are holding the tower pretty strong, actually, pushing it forward. J-Blast with the strikes are able to get in, and Ren is going to get that one splat that matters. This is J-Blast finally being able to take control over me. Now it's their turn to get a push.
And this push it's going to be a little difficult for them to hold it, as this
Yep.
pencil is going to be a pain in their neck. Unfortunately, also 2 members of J-Blast goes down, but J-Blast has this bubble now. Fighting members of Cherry Wave, unfortunately, it goes down while chipping most of them. Though this is not the end of the game for J-Blast here, as they're just picking off any member of Cherry Wave that so much as overextends by an inch.
Yeah. And right now, I feel like J-Blast, they're all clumped into the same spot of the map, which makes them kind of easy picking. Cherry Wave are dancing around, preparing their way in, and J-Blast still struggling to get forward. Both teams still fighting for mid, but I mean, Cherry Wave, they have the special advantage, and right now, they have a numbers advantage with the Zimi getting in there, almost getting a triple. That's going to be a push for Cherry Wave.
It's going to be a very exciting push as well, as now I believe J-Blast here is just going to do everything they can to stop these bubbles on tower, literally just ruining their life, actually. Here comes J-Blast's bubble now, hoping to stop them from getting to that second checkpoint here. Unfortunately, it is going to stop them from getting to that second checkpoint. And now J-Blast is going to have an uphill battle just trying to get back in the mid.
Right now, 2 down onto Cherry Wave. J-Blast are bringing the tower back into mid and maintaining the 2 downs onto Cherry Wave. Petty with a slusher needs to defend, uses the bomb to slow things down, allowing the rest of the Cherries to come back onto the map. Right now, with a minute and a half left, J-Blast needs one big push, and they already lose 2 players as they are pushing the tower finally to the first checkpoint. They're out of bubbler, they're out of special, and they need to move back.
I think the core difference between these two teams here is one of them has 2 bubblers that allows them to push the tower, and the other one only has 1. You can see every time J-Blast tries to get that tower being pushed, they're able to get it to that first checkpoint with a bubbler, and then they can no longer push it further because that bubbler just runs out, right? And Cherry Wave is able to push it to 33 or 43 because they have that bubbler. And it's I never thought I'd say this, but I think they don't have enough bubblers here, Pat.
Well, right now the bubblers are working for the Cherry Wave, who is getting to the second checkpoint, and with just 35 seconds left, they don't even need to break that checkpoint. They can simply keep their ground. This is do or die now for J-Blast. They have one final push, and they need to break the first checkpoint and get to the second.
It is going to be very rough, though. They have that bubbler available on Cherry Wave. Instantly gets popped, but at the price of 2 members of J-Blast going down. Now, these 2 members who are up have a strike and a cooler, and, well, it might not end that well for them as the members of Cherry Wave are starting to build their specials, namely the Slosher, who is going to be looking for enough to get that strike to force the members of J-Blast off this tower.
Yep. Well, J-Blast is breaking the checkpoint, and now with the strikes are getting themselves a lot of space. Oh, there's 3 down, though, and the strikes are coming on the tower. That's the game. I mean, J-Blast managed to have a good push, but they didn't manage to get the splat onto the Slosher. And that's all that matters, because that Slosher had the strikes ready to end that push.
Yeah, you could see, actually, if you looked closely, the Slosher was playing safely. Like, they were really far back. Just, you see at that top left, just literally farming Inkstrike from deep within their base. And yeah, it was a little bit slow, but, like, it gets the job done, especially when you have such a substantial lead here, and the members of J-Blast have to push up so far. I think the lesson I got from this game, if you could get a lesson from most Splatoon games, is really the best defense is a good offense. Like, Cherry Wave was just so up in J-Blast's face. There was nothing they could do to really stop them from just taking all the space in the world. Like, I mean, look at how dominant they were for most of this game, Pat.
Yeah, Cherry Wave were getting in there, and in the end, J-Blast kind of struggled, were kind of slow to play off of their advantage, and every time had to wait for the tower to follow through, were not able to really get deep into Cherry territory, which means that right now they're back to the wall. Cherry Wave is up 2-1, and J-Blast needs to win right now on Rainmaker on Undertow Spillway?
I don't know if Undertow is going to be a good map for them. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, we've seen their comps, especially with like this Blaster, and the Blaster is only really strong in Undertow in like maybe 1 or 2 spots. So for most of the game, they're just going to be fighting raw, like just rushing through this bottleneck in mid all the way up through that left side, or that quick checkpoint on right that doesn't really get you any further than that.
Yeah, well, one thing for sure is that both of these teams chose to have this map on their list. So both of these teams want to play here. I don't know if JBlast has that that blast strategy already, but for sure, one thing for sure is that they have something ready. They have something in store that they want to do on this map.
And let's see what their plan is as we hit match point. I believe they're going to bring a Blaster back. Oh,
Yep.
and actually, a Decaf and a Nautilus just switching up their comp entirely. As on the other side of Cherry Wave, we actually have that shot is now a splash, if I'm correct here.
Yep, that's a splash. That's going to be crab tanks. This crab tank can slow down the game, stop the opponent, also really hammer any defense that the opponent can have, and we'll see if Cherry Wave, if that crab tank is able to help them. Right now, though, they lost their pencil. The crab tank needs to slow things down, and it's exactly doing that at the end of that first push by JBlast, but JBlast still in control of the Rainmaker, looking to get forward.
I love this decap on JBlast, just taking a key position here on this left side, holding it out so Cherry Wave can't occupy it, making a clean path for this Rainmaker. But here comes the splash, popping them as they get that bubble, and suddenly JBlast is in not such a good spot as they do get that checkpoint, and strikes do come out. Unfortunately, a little too late to stop them. Rin down, hold on, picking off this member who's in a bubble here. Suddenly, Cherry Wave is not looking too good as JBlast pops that Rainmaker, grabs it, pushes it to 39, which is pretty significant here.
Hey, on this map mode, no lead is safe, but 39, as your opponent hasn't scored a single point yet, is a very, very nice for JBlast. Now, Cherry Wave are in control of the Rainmaker, are not in control of their spawn yet. They're still struggling to push forward, as everybody from JBlast know that all they need to do is harass and do whatever they can to make things a nightmare. But with 3 players down, Cherry Wave are going to get to mid, are going to get that push.
Cherry Wave now pushing through this left side, completely undefended actually by JBlast, but this bubble does go down as that player actually pushed a little too far, and suddenly going down, being trapped just on this left side. It really feels like JBlast realized, wait, I need to lock in. I'm 2 games down. And suddenly they're locked in, like with this aggressive splashdown, with their players just taking such strong positions. Literally, this decaf pushing forward to grab that wipeout, and suddenly, right, JBlast is in an incredible position to push forward and get past that 39. This bubble here is going to be huge as JBlast rushes forward, pops this splashdown, and suddenly it's not going to be very easy for Cherry Wave to defend this.
Yeah, JBlast incredibly forward, getting more and more. 2 players down, but they don't care. They have all the points right now. 16 is huge. And as Cherry Wave is desperately trying to get back control, JBlast is still getting in, trying to keep the attack on.
Xenox just barely being able to defend this Rainmaker from this Decavitator on the side of JBlast. Now, Cherry Wave is going to be pushing through this left side once again, but JBlast is going to be ready for them as this bubble now gets popped a little further back, making it just a little bit harder for Cherry Wave to push forward and grab this checkpoint.
Yeah, I mean, Cherry Wave have been eyeing that checkpoint for some time now, but they need to find a way in, and between the pencil and the Nautilus is going to be pretty rough to break the range right now. And with the splashdown, that's the end of that Rainmaker, and I guess that's JBlast simply getting more and more control time.
Woo! Yeah, just that push was gut-wrenching if you're Cherry Wave right here. Literally just going down at the checkpoint with that splashdown, and suddenly your team is no longer in a good position to make anything happen, especially like jumping in and dying immediately. Like it's going to be really hard to get to this lead of 16 if you can't even break that checkpoint. But on the flip side, as long as they can break that checkpoint, it's going to be very easy to get to that 16. All they need to do is really touch the area. Unfortunately for Cherry Wave, J-Blast is going to start by pushing that Rainmaker a little forward to that left side. As long as they keep pushing, as long as they don't stop being aggressive, there's no way Cherry Wave is going to, you know, be able to come back from this.
Yeah, and J-Blast right now, Air Blaster got a triple, allowing them to simply maintain the fight into mid. J-Wave are in trouble. They need to get forward. They need to get that Rainmaker as J-Blast is simply grabbing it and keeping it away with no checkpoint. J-Blast could simply get the Rainmaker back into their spawn.
Oh my god, you're right, actually. But it looks like they're not really going to need to... Well, actually, look how far they are, actually, all the way back by that pedestal. If they got picked there, it would have been over. Luckily for them, though, they do end up winning this game very safely. And now we're going to go to another Game 5, Pat.
Yeah, luckily for us. Luckily for us, we get to see more of these two teams, more of semi-final actions. And, I mean... J-Blast right there, they brought the double splashdown comp. We've seen double bubbler, we've seen double tripling strike, and now we see double splashdown. What's happening?
You know what? I think they're playing in such an aggressive way that's allowing them to take full advantage of how their team plays. Like, you can see J-Blast here with that splashdown just constantly being a thorn in Cherry Wave's side. Even when they go down, they're always with that splashdown, 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 denying so much area because the members of Cherry Wave are probably expecting and afraid of this splashdown, and suddenly, like, you're playing so on edge that you kind of lose that edge that you had in the first place. That being said, I don't think the double triple splashdown is going to be working as well on Scorch Clams. I think the bubble on both of these teams are actually going to be very strong here, holding that elbow, Pat.
Oh yeah, I mean, big bubble under the basket is key to so many pushes, and right now, we see a lot of bubblers coming in. It's one on the side of J-Blast, and still two splashdowns. Splashdown again.
You know, it might not be the worst thing in the world, but it's definitely like an aggressive special, right? Like, there are things that are preferable to that double splashdown, but aggressive as it is, they are going to be pushing back Cherry Wave even without popping that splashdown yet. Literally picking off that slosher incredibly easily on this elbow. Suddenly things are not looking that good for them, as now they have their splashdown, as J-Blast has their splashdown online, nearing in on this elbow, and almost getting this decapitator.
Yeah, and here comes the big bubbler under the basket. J-Blast opening the score with two super clam and a splashdown. For good measure. That's a nice 60 with an extra clam in. Oh, no extra clam in. Another splashdown, but the splashdown is not going to do much. That's the first push, and honestly, in the first minute, getting 40 points in, pretty good start.
Incredibly good start, Pat. Like, Cherry Wave now is going to have to use their specials expertly to clear out their elbow and now start getting control of mid. And J-Blast here is actually going to be backing up a little bit, respecting the space that Cherry Wave is demanding of them. And now they're going to be rushing through this elbow, trying to, you know, get as much space or like hold as much attention as they can from J-Blast. Bubble comes out and suddenly Cherry Wave is in a really good spot to start scoring.
Yeah, they're in a good spot with the tripling strikes. They will have cover to get in, but they don't have a super clam. They need to wait for someone to grab a pity or to just collect clams on the ground. They're going to let J-Blast is the future get back control of their own side, but with two down, I guess they're going... Oh wait, two down on both sides. And J-Wave, at this time they have a super clam, but they're forced to get back into their own spawn as J-Blast is simply moving forward.
I love the usage of the point sensors to keep track of where the pencil is specifically. Because as long as you know where the pencil is, you know what areas are and are not safe. A lot of the time when you're facing against the pencil, you're going to really have to watch out for that long range chip. And fortunately for J-Blast, like this is going to be a huge boon for them, as now Cherry Wave is just practically stuck in their spawn, especially with that blaster harassing that pencil over and over again.
Ooh, yeah, but there's 2 players down onto J-Blast. It looks like Cherry Wave are able to break the down, to open the basket and put more clams in there. They have their big bubbler, but their big bubbler is broken. It's a wipe out. And getting wiped in Clam Blitz without taking the lead is very, very dangerous.
Exactly, because like look how far J-Blast has already pushed up. Literally in full control of this elbow and harassing that snipe. It's going to be really hard to prevent a push here once J-Blast gets those specials ready. They have that splashdown ready, and they have the other splashdown ready and a cooler. So here they come, actually. First splashdown goes out. It goes wiped out. No one got that cooler. And now here comes the members of Cherry Wave passing clams to each other with these strikes, with an incredible position here. All they need is a clam to come out. And here it comes into that basket. 3 clams lead 47. Now all they need is just a little bit more to try and extend that. But J-Blast here is rushing forward, doing anything they can to stop that.
Cherry Wave right there, getting such a big lead, and super jumping with the super clam a bit too late as J-Blast is taking back control of their spawn, control of their basket right there. It's going to be a rough one for J-Blast. They need to get to that basket again, and this time they need to really open it without getting wiped.
This is going to be a little bit of an uphill battle for J-Blast to try and rush through, especially with Cherry Wave's current strategy of just popping that bubble to try and make sure that nothing can really stop them here. Though here comes this splashdown, does not get the slosher miraculously. Perfectly positioned. Enamel is now trying to stop members of Cherry Wave from advancing on them, waiting for an opportunity to try and maybe jump in, but those clams are going to be a key factor in being able to tell where in fact J-Blast is. The bubble comes out, the counter bubble to destroy that first bubble is going to be huge. Suddenly J-Blast is in control of this elbow, but not for long as 2 go down, 3 go down, but 3 go down on the side of Cherry Wave. This bubble is out. There are 5 seconds left in this game, and then we are heading straight into overtime with 2 clams on J-Blast's side and mid completely in their control.
If these 2 super clams get into the basket, J-Blast gets the comeback. J-Blast gets the control right now. They're finding their way in, but they already lost their decapitator. That's no bubbler for J-Blast in this final push, and they're trying still to get in. They don't have the time, and that's going to be game and set for Cherry Wave, who get to the final of this tournament.
That ending was picturesque, right? Just barely not getting those picks with those splashdowns. Like that bubble on top of bubble action. Like, tell me that's not intense. Like, that's not like completely calculated. My bubble is going to outlast your bubble 100%. And even if it didn't, it still destroys that bubble on the elbow, which means no more splashdowns in that area. Like, even right at the end, you could see Cherry Wave was just popping off those ink strikes to try and stop J-Blast from getting any mileage out of them.
And 2 times in this game, like we saw that in the overtime and in the failed push before Cherry Wave got the lead back, J-Blast was next to the basket. They had the paint, they had the specials, they had the clams ready. And then Cherry Wave were able to win the fight. Cherry Wave were able to get the splat that mattered to stop the push in its tracks. And that's these 2 failed push that cost J-Blast the whole game right there, and not only the whole game, that cost them the set, that cost them their spot into grand finals. Cherry Wave are now in the top 2 teams of this battling pool going into the finals.
It's going to be a little rough. I haven't actually seen Seed 1 fight yet, which is going to be very interesting to watch them go against Cherry Wave, who has really just been fighting out, mechanically diffing a lot of their opponents. Like, I think the last time I commentated Triton and then paddling, we got bracket reset both times. And while this can't happen again, I predict ever since I started commentating this time, we've gone to game of 5 every time. And so I wouldn't be surprised to see another game 5 here.
Yeah, well, we'll see right after this very short break as we prepare the lobby. Don't go anywhere. You've seen Cherry Wave snatch their way into the finals in the end of the very, very tense best of 5. Now they get to meet RC number 1 of this whole tournament. It is a chick, I guess.
It looks like a chick to me. I think that's chick versus Cherry Wave here.
Yep.
And we are going to be going to... Oh.
Chicks, they eat everything. And so far, the chicks, they've only lost a single game in this whole tournament. That's how good they are. That's how dominant they are. Very much pay attention to them. That's a cracked team for you. And we'll see how they're able to do.
I don't know, man. Like, they haven't fought Cherry Wave yet, and seeing the performance they put on last time, I wouldn't be surprised if things go differently. That being said, love the leader pick on Hagel. I feel like leader definitely really loves Hagel, just how open it is, how, like, past a certain point, there's not a lot of cover for players to take. And, like, this is such a strong team. I mean, you have the Gal immediately dying, actually, as I'm talking about them. Now, Cherry Wave is going to be trying to take an early advantage, trying not to get picked by this leader, though. It's going to be a permanent threat that they're going to have to keep in the back of their minds.
Yeah, well, pay attention to that Elite. That Elite has been winning a lot of things, notably Padding Pool with Mango Hackmech recently, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, pay attention right now, and yeah, teams are going in. Cherry Wave opening with very, very strong fights right there, as the tower is going to get back in there, but Cherry Wave still very much holding a lot of control over mid.
It's actually, I don't know how to describe it, right? This game, it feels like while Cherry Wave is very dominant in a lot of their positions here, on paper, it feels like it's at such a standstill. Like, nothing really happened yet. Like, yes, we have this bubble on tower, actually. Hold on. If they hit this first checkpoint, then things are really going to start heating up as members of Chick start going down one after another to Cherry Wave. Unfortunately, this tower is going to go back to mid, though.
Yeah. Tower still hasn't broken the checkpoint, and this is where the game really starts right now. One player down on to Cherry Wave, two players down, and with a lot of specials at the ready. Chick are getting forward, are getting the splats, and I mean, with a good Zipcaster, you can get so much. Right now, that's an easy checkpoint for Chick. There's nobody to contest it yet.
Yeah, I mean, just look at how Chick is able to shut down a lot of Cherry Wave. Like, they even have this wave breaker up at the top, like, left to find people who might be stopping their push. Xenox going down, and now so does their pencil and their bucket, and suddenly it's just the mini here getting the pick barely, but this tower is now going to start going back to mid, as this decav here is going to take space for their team, or try to at least stop Chick from being ever aggressive.
Yeah, it's the tower being reset. Chick got a good lead right there and are maintaining their numbers advantage right now. 3 down onto Cherry Wave. It looks like Chick are on their momentum and now getting forward more and more and getting faster as this game goes on.
Faster and better, honestly. Like, that reminds me of like a certain song. That being said, though, Cherry Wave is kind of on the back foot. Gets an easy pick with this Splat Bomb on tower. Now this 52 and this leader get a nice pick on this Slosher, as suddenly members of Cherry Wave are going to dive at tower. That's a wipeout on the side of Chick. Cherry Wave is going to have to act fast to overcome this deficit. Yep. 17 is nothing to scoff at on Hagel, especially when they don't even have mid yet.
Yeah, Cherry Wave hasn't broken the first checkpoint. They need a big push. They have a minute and a half to get it, which is still a lot of time. Right now, they're activating the special knocks with the brush. Is punished. That's what you want to do before you do anything else. And right now, with 2 versus 2, it looks like Cherry Wave are still around the tower, but waiting for the rest of the team to come back in there.
These strikes are doing great to stall that tower, as now it gets reset back to mid. Chick is at a good advantage, actually, as they pick off members of Cherry Wave one after another, but Cherry Wave does in fact have a bubble at the ready, which is going to be big to try and stop that leader from getting pot shots on their members, so.
Yeah. And right now, Cherry Wave gets a very nice splat. 2 splats, actually. That's going to allow them to get back on the tower. Mikey with the T-Tech is still defending, preparing the strikes, readying up. These strikes, I guess, are going to come on the first checkpoint.
And I mean, listen, if they can stop Cherry Wave from pushing that tower, it's going to be huge for them, but it looks like they're actually not that concerned as they get the pick just as that checkpoint gets broken. Unfortunately for them, we are now in the final 20 seconds of this game, Pat. It's going to be really hard for Cherry Wave to come back. Like, it's I've said this earlier, but like, just look at how they're locked out already, and the tower's not even out of mid.
They need to get on that tower, and they need to do it fast. There's only a few more seconds, and here comes the strikes right there to punish everybody trying to get to the tower. That's going to be game number 1 for the Chick.
I find that game really hard to describe. Like, for the first minute or so, it really felt like even though the tower was advancing in the favor of Cherry Wave, despite getting great picks, they just couldn't make it to that checkpoint. Like, that long-range threat, like, just didn't allow them to, you know, make anything real happen until they got that bubbler out. And unfortunately, look at how Mikey just pushed back the members of Cherry Wave all the way to their court during that first push, just making it almost impossible for them to continue their advance. And then when Chick got the advantage, like going, Cherry Wave going 3 down, and just, it was basically their game, their pace to control, and it was really hard for Cherry Wave to even come after that.
Hey, one word time. Momentum. Right there. Cherry Wave were able to get some control over the map, but they were not able to get the momentum because there was always at least one player from Cherry Wave to stop them, to force them to look to the side, to force them to dodge a bomb or strikes. There was always something stopping Cherry Wave from getting any momentum. Meanwhile, Chick, the second they had the advantage, they'd go forward. They would go in. They would push that advantage and get more and more off of it and snowball the game into these big pushes. Right now, Cherry Wave, they need to stop that momentum going for Chick, and they need to get momentum themselves.
And it's going to be hard to find that momentum if Chick continues pressuring. I mean, even with wipeouts, it was just really hard for Cherry Wave to grasp on to the momentum that they earned. And suddenly, it was all the way back to square one. But here we are going to be seeing Clamblitz, the super aggressive 52 already just rushing out to Cherry Wave's plat. Suddenly, it's not looking so good as just this entire field is covered in orange.
Yep, right now both teams are still fighting for mid, and with the crab tank activated, it looks like Chick is going to have to move back. Cherry Wave able to take good control right there. The Zipcaster is not finding anyone right now. He's going to go back there, and Cherry Wave right now, they have control over mid.
This is really good for them, especially with this great bubble position. Though it does get decimated by these strikes, they are going to be able to try and hold plat. Unfortunately, unable to completely hold it. And now Chick is all the way back in mid, just trying to run around and, you know, do some real damage.
Yeah, it is not stopping right there. Cherry Wave activating the Tactical. Both teams have a lot of clams around, but they don't have a super clam, so any splash is going to end the clam economy for the other team. It's working pretty well right now. Cherry Wave are getting a lot of ground, but oh no, they lost their players, and right now Chick has a lot of clams around, enough to make several balls.
That brush is doing so much damage to Cherry Wave. Just the way they're using their Zipcasters to distract is very different from any other Zipcaster we've seen because of that strong AoE presence that they have. It's just unstoppable. Like, look at how they've just begun scoring. Mikey here actually has the clams to continue pushing for their team as long as they could just get one more clam, and unfortunately, this does not happen. But you can also see this as Chick just trying to be patient, trying to hold the space as much as they can so that they don't lose control of their plat, so they don't wipe out as much as they did in that first game.
Yeah, and Chick are fine with letting the basket close if they reopen it right away, not letting Cherry Wave have anything on this whole map right now. That is huge control, and with 2 players down onto Cherry Wave, Chick are not stopping, making more and more points right there. Cherry Wave needs to find a way to get this guy out of here, to get everybody out of their spawn so that they can push forward. But it's just a smash. It's just
This-
a splash.
This
Oh,
Splash
no.
fought for their life against this 52 and this shot, and unfortunately, they were not able to come out on top. But Cherry Wave is now going to gradually start getting back control with this strike, with other specials that they're starting to build. But Chick is going to push back just as hard with their own set of specials. This leader gets a crazy pick, and suddenly the basket has been opened once again. This is going to start counting down, as it's literally just this Splash in this bubble, the only warrior to defend this basket for them here.
Yeah, well, Chick are at 23 points from a victory, and Mox with the brush is getting a double right there. No more points, but still more control for Chick right now. They have another Super Clam, and in time, the next push might very well be the last.
I mean, and the next push is coming T-minus now, Pat. Running in with the 17. All they need is a few more claims, and they build that power, and suddenly in it goes. And that is a very clean game, too, for Chick.
Chick still in control, still getting more. Incredible game. I mean, they didn't do a mistake. They kept control of the whole map. They kept control of the clams. They won the fights. And Cherry Wave struggling to get out, struggling to push back and keep themselves on the board.
I mean, listen, on the ball is a great way to describe Clamblitz in general, right? Like, literally just ball is life, control the ball. I really admired, actually. I've been saying this a lot this tournament, but a lot of these, really strong, high-level teams are just showing a beautiful amount of patience.
Yeah.
Like, whenever, oh, hey, there is a clam here ready to go, and suddenly you're able to say, wait, but I could hold it, and suddenly my team is going to be in a great position when we push the next time. And instead of wiping for a push like we've seen other people do, they're able to hold back and say, well, let's just hold space, because if we lose it now, they're going to come back for a huge push. Like, we saw Pole and Thanksgiving be doing.
Yeah. And right now, J-Wave needs to stop being patient. They need to get in. They need to take risks, because they are one game away from letting Chick be your paddling pool champion. We are on match point. We are on tournament point. And Chick are bringing a double shooter to this, and still with a brush, an Octobrush, and an Elita.
I do like the Zuka pick. I'm not gonna lie to you. The Zuka pick, it feels kind of strong, especially when you get to fire over that plat. You get to control a lot of mid here. But you can see Cherry Wave now taking your advice to heart, Pat, trying to be really aggressive. Unfortunately, it's not going to be working out for them as they go 2 down and suddenly have to back up. This leader here actually grabs this Rainmaker, is trying really hard to get this Rainmaker checkpoint. Almost does it, and unfortunately goes down moments later.
Yeah, that's going to be a very nice defense by Cherry Wave. Being able to not get the checkpoint broken is huge for them, but we need the follow-through. Both teams are still fighting for that Rainmaker, that's still waiting next to the checkpoint for to be picked up. I guess we're going to have a reset. Yes, the Rainmaker is blinking and getting back there. Huge sigh of relief for Cherry Wave.
Yes, it's going to allow Cherry Wave to now try and get a little bit of control back in mid. But Mox here has an incredible Shark, getting ready to pick off the members of Cherry Wave as they come into mid. As, oh my god, they're actually starting to aggressively push up on this ramp, and suddenly Mike and Woaini is going to have to push up. Goes 2 down. Hold on, it's just this leader with this Kraken. They go down 2, and suddenly Cherry Wave has an excellent view of this court. Going to try and stop the members of Chick from stopping them getting the checkpoint. Gets that checkpoint. This is huge for them, Pat. And suddenly, things are not looking so bad for them after all.
They are looking good. They are re-grabbing the Rainmaker, getting more points. And 32 is the number right now for Cherry Wave. Chick are still fighting to get out of the platform. At least they're able to grab the Rainmaker back and put it out of their platform. But this was very rough for them. Cherry Wave showing why they got into the finals, why they are here. and they're here to fight. They took the risks. It paid off.
And they are going to have to come. Okay. Let me start over. Cherry Wave is going to have a hard time. They're going to have a hard time trying to defend against Chick, especially with all of these specials. But Chick is not using them as effectively as they could be. Like, you see, they have a Kraken strikes Crab and Zuka, but a Kraken strikes Crab and Zipcaster. And while the Zipcaster has been doing a lot of damage to them, not a lot of pushing up has been done with this Zipcaster this game. But as I say that, actually, this brush goes in, this leader tries once again to dunk this Rainmaker, unfortunately does not work out for them, but now Chick has control of this plat, and now they're going to get this checkpoint, whether Cherry Wave likes it or not.
Yeah, that's checkpoint taken, and with numbers advantage, this is Chick as their most dangerous right now, looking for a way in, 2 players down. But Devin with a Rainmaker is getting in, getting the lead, and getting to 22. And they still have the numbers advantage. Cherry Wave are struggling to defend right now, and Mox is to the side with that brush. That's not a Zipcaster, they're just above everybody. Oh, no.
It's going to be a little rough. You see,
don't
Mox
know.
here is
They
actually
don't know.
waiting perfectly. They don't know.
They don't know. They don't
Mox is
know.
coming in. Mox is coming in. They grab the Rainmaker just in time. Oh my god, they might not have known, and suddenly they must be really shocked to see this brush behind them about to knock it out. Xenox here is going to push through mid, going to try and get this bubble in a place where their teammates can now properly take advantage of it. Suddenly, Chick is on the back, but these stressors coming one after another, stopping them from being able to stop this Rainmaker. Zuka comes out just barely popping it as this Kraken now panics here. It is pandemonium out here, Pat.
Yeah, I mean, Chick just used 2 specials where they can have used only 1 right now. Rainmaker is not repopped though, and Cherry Wave lose 3 players. It's just Pelly with the bucket. Pelly is alone. The Rainmaker is dropping right now. Cherry Wave has 30 seconds to create a miracle. They are so back right now. Chick has everything for themselves. And right now, Mox simply trying to clean up with that Octobrush. 10 seconds left. The Rainmaker is not popped. And Chick with a grab tank are going to maintain control and make sure that they are your Paddling Pool 295 champions time.
Chick did an incredible job to push that Rainmaker past Cherry Wave's lead. It was actually so incredible, especially with Mox almost getting that my heart dropped, Pat, let me tell you. That being said, yes, incredible show from both of these teams. Especially that last game was a lot closer than I expected, especially after those first 2.
Yeah, Cherry Wave, it's the kind of team that's able to get there, that's able to get the fight, that's able to force these big teams to try to give it their all. But in the end, when you have players of the caliber of the power of Chick, it's going to be very rough, and it could have gone worse right there. If Mox gets that Rainmaker, things become very, very ugly very fast for Cherry Wave. In the end, it was Chick. It was Chick winning the tournament, only dropping a single game in the whole tournament.
Extremely hype. Unfortunately, we are going to have to wind down from this hype, as we are going to be, I believe it's actually, for American viewers, it's going to be Thanksgiving tomorrow, which is going to be quite lovely, and I think I'm going to have to start, preparing for that in a moment. So without further ado, Pat, anywhere I can find you, any socials, anything?
Well, you can find me at Pajay or Tom on Blue Sky. If you had underscores in the middle of my name around the O, you can find me on Twitch as well. And Time, where can I find you on the internet?
I am currently on Blue Sky at freshsquiffer.inkling. Very cool, big fan of Inklings, I'm not gonna lie to you. Might be part of the Splatoon gameplay, if you know what I'm saying. That being said, incredible tournament. Thank you so much for having me, and congratulations again to Chicks, our 295th paddling pool winners.